to the rat house, baby, where the truth ain't quiet, and neither are you. Where the chat rats crew slide in, pull up a seat, crime talk, cold facts, and a jazzy backbeat. We got stories to tell, got some justice to serve, so pour up that coffee or something with a swerve. There's Rat Daddy leading 6'5", a cool Toys the queen with the sharpest of tools. Dean's cracking jokes, Mary B's got the tea, and Lawleen lays the law down, real boss energy. MJ's got the fire, Gingy's taking names, Angel Baby's in the game. The clerk's keeping order, Misty's watching close. Pinky promises, keeps receipts, and she does the most. We're the chat rats, baby, worldwide and bold. Stories unfold while the crime scene gets cold. Puff, puff, pass, and the truth gets exposed. At the rat house, baby, that's how it goes. Snap, snap. Cherry lights it up. Cherry lights it up, neon glow behind her head. Tombstones drops the facts that awake the dead. Connor's taking notes, Janine's on the clock. Hetty the paralegal keeps the court on lock. Sweet woman, sweet, but she'll sting if you like. Calypso keeps it cool, got that island vibe. Prince Lover's in purple, that Texas pride glowing. Sherry's laughing loud while the facts keep flowing. Bum, 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 bum. Da-da-bum, da-da-bum, ghetto. OG coming through, crazy-eyed cheese, oh you better believe. Robo-rat clicks, sparks, gears in his head, breaking the code till the lies drop dead. Jump, jump. We're the chat rats, baby, worldwide and bold. Stories unfold while the crime scene gets cold. Puff, puff, pass, and the truth gets exposed. At the rat house, baby, that's how it goes. Crime solving, cracks. Worlds are stage, that's a fact. Together, we're the chat rats crew. We ain't looking back.
Yo, what's up, everybody? What's happening? Hello, welcome to Friday. What's up? What's up? What's up? So what y'all doing out there? Been a long day. I've been missing out on everything. So let's see who's here. Bunch of folks here already. So what's up, Miss Lily in the house? What's up, Barbara? Joy? Ooh, Yellow's here. What's up, Yellow? That's my dog. That's my dog. Carrie B. What up, Carrie B? Prince Lover. Dina's here. What up, Dina? Did y'all have a good time today? I caught like 10 minutes of it before I had to leave. Never got to look up again. Missed everything. But we finna watch all of it. Because I've got Erica's stream pulled up too. We'll watch a little bit of that, see what happened this morning that I missed, and then we'll watch the hearing. And then we'll find some other stuff to watch, because I'm not in a hurry. It's Friday. So I hope y'all packed your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. A lot of people. Hello. Lubin Dubin's in the house. What's up, Bunny? Swiss Miss, what's up? Oh, crazy Brazilians here. Can't beat that shit. It's a fucking party now. So we can kick it off with one little tune. I swear, just once. Just one. It will not be two. It will be just one. Promise.
You are the candle that dances slow in the room where the wild winds go. You are the still in my rambling mind, a soft hello in the hands of time. You don't ask me to be more than I am, but still you pull the best from this man. With eyes that read my quiet sins, and a laugh that pulls the light back in. Oh love, if this life is a song, then you are the hum that carries it on. In a world spinning reckless and loud, you're the calm in the crowd, you in the quiet. That's where I belong. I talk in riddles, I run too fast, chasing tomorrow, forgetting the past. But you hold time like a prayer in your hand and teach me how to truly stand. Your heart is a river, strong and wide, pulling me gently back inside. No need for maps or stars above, I just follow the shape of your love. Oh love, if this life is a song, then you are the hum that carries it on. In a world spinning reckless and loud, you're the calm in the crowd, you in the quiet. That's where I belong. Let the world keep shouting its name. We'll lie here slow, unafraid. No need to run, no need to roam, when your arms are the only home I've known. No love, if this life is a song, then you are the hum that carries it on. In a world spinning reckless and loud, you're the calm in the crowd, you in the quiet. That's where I belong.
Even that AI violin will get you. That's some sweet shit. Oops, might have accidentally done too.
Yeah. Check the tape. No huddle. No flags. Let's run it. Yeah. 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 Snap count silent, defense still jumping. Bliss coming heavy, still ain't rushing. Pocket collapsing, QB stay calm. Reading cover 2 like it's written on palms. They stack the box, audible out. Send truth in motion, spread them out. Nickel defense, still too small. This ain't checkers, it's fourth and all. Move the chain, first down talk. Helmet crack when the truth get walked. Red zone pressure, no timeouts. Scoreboard lies, but the tape don't lie. Move the chains, grind that clock. They get loud, then they all get blocked. No flags thrown, still got bruises. Ran straight through all the excuses. Play fake clean, whole crowd big. Safety froze, that's a bad red. Eyes in the backfield, lost contained. True bro loose, house call game. They try spying the quarterback. Still got cooked on the comeback route. Talking tough in the pregame chat. By halftime silence, mouthpiece out. Oh, no cheerleaders, no script. Just body, stats. Yeah. Yeah. Move the chains, first down talk. Helmet crack when the truth get walked. Red zone pressure, no timeout. Scoreboard lies, but the tape don't lie. Move the chains, grind that clock. They get loud, then they all get blocked. No flags thrown, still got bruises. Ran straight through all the excuses. 2-minute drill, no panic, yeah. Clock management crystal clear. They burn challenges, waste of breath. Still can't overturn what they said. Illegal contact, missed that call. Funny how refs don't see it all, but the crowd saw the whole damn play. And the replay hits a different way. On goal line stand, everybody tense. They stack bodies, still can't fence. 4th and inches, power run. Lower the pass, this game's done. Move the chains, all gas, no brakes. Film room full of their mistakes. They talk big till the lights come on. Then the whole damn drive gets run. No move the chain, whistle late. Truth crosses lines, they can't regulate. No mercy clock, no fake fame. Just a long drive and a short memory of pain. End of the quarter, same results. Run it back, move the chain. Move the chain. Move the chain. Move the chain.
Maybe one more by popular demand.
Cut. Clench. Kegel. Here we go. Scalpel so sharp when I step on the scene. Facts on deck, my cut so clean. Dear little sweet, baby Jesus, grab that spleen. I clock your vitals while you spill that tea. Truth got pulse, you flatline on me. I scrub and clean while y'all talk cheap. I chart receipts, no gossip sheets. Next patient, please, I don't treat deceit. Clutch those pearls, bitch, breathe. This is Nurse Kim's creed. Facts stay raw, I don't plead. Mic in my hand like Ivy's feet. Going for pressure, that's the Boston way. I bleed no cap, truth in my veins. Run stacks all day. Talk your shit, but mind your speed. Cause clutch is part of the creed. Talk your shit, I sterilize scenes. Burn through lies like I'm autoclave steam. Mask on tight, can't breathe my air. Pressure so thick, it'll cold you there. Vitals jump when I walk in clean. Truth gets served while you spill that tea. Calm as a cut, no shakes, no plea. I make the facts bleed, pretty for free. Clutch those pearls, bitch, breathe. This is Nurse Kim's creed. Facts stay raw, I don't plead. Mic in my hand like Ivy's feet. Going for pressure, that's the Boston way. I bleed no cap, truth in my veins. Runs facts all day. Talk your shit, but mind your speed. Cause clutch is part of creed. Oh, you still with me, lovies? Don't chase clout, chase context. Oh dear sweet baby Jesus, half these takes need triage. Read this chart back, word for word. Every line I spit is a fact confirmed. Perception versus projection, same disease. Only truth gets sanitized by me. Blues Clues, motherfuckers is Debbie. Clutch those pearls, bitch, breathe. This is Nurse Kim's creed.
All right, fuck it. One more. I'm sorry. Gotta hear this one now. So, here we go. Last one. Last one.
Yeah. Jet rise. Danny's got the fire that can light the way. Jet rats run these streets, yeah, till the break of day. Screw the system and that one-way trap. Danny's the leader of the Chatterats pack. We're gonna burn it down. Hear the voices scream. Danny's the fire. Danny's the fire. He's living the dream. Oh, smoke rolls up, and the rebellion's high. Chatterats rise, never living. And it's got a rhythm that can never be beat. Burn it down loud. Burn it down loud. Yeah. Voices scream. Voices scream.
Nice. All right. That was really the last one. All right. That was it. Now we're about to get down to some fucking business. What's up, motherfucking Mary B? Hanging out with all the fucking superstars.
Hey, what's up?
Now I'm really pissed. I used to be pissed at y'all when y'all hung out with just a couple of them. I saw some snippets from that shit this morning, and I'm pissed.
Yeah, I was saying it all day. I'm like, Danny's gonna be pissed at me now.
I'm pissed. Did you hang out with Betero?
Yeah, well, Betero was, at the court, so he was, like, he was around. He was we saw him come in. We said hi to him. He
Hung
came
out
over,
with the Glare.
hung out with the Glare. Yeah, we went to have some pizza in the North End. It was a big group of us.
So Connor was there with you?
Yep.
Bastard. That rat fucking bastard.
Yeah, it was funny. We were at the pizza place and like Glare streaming, and we're all just like wicked loud. Like the other people at the tables, you could see them. Like, who are these people? Like, are they famous?
Well, I think you're all pieces of shit. That's what I think. Just like Dean would say. Just like my buddy Dean would say. You're all
Dude,
pieces of
honestly,
shit.
this morning getting there, I think it's the coldest I've ever been. Like we were outside for like 30 seconds.
How cold was it? What was the temperature?
Well, the temp was like 12 or something, but like we're like in between buildings where like the wind is just like whipping around, like no matter which way you're walking, it's hitting you in the face.
Oh.
Like it's just, you had to like kind of like go into doorways to get a little relief. Like those little.
Well, did Jay Brill show up?
No.
What?
No, he didn't come with my mama's on the phone. None of those people. It got like a little bit better by the time we came out, but dude, that whole friggin' shit being in there.
Yeah.
Cosgrove. Oh God, I can't even.
So you got to hang out with Kasi too, huh?
Yeah, Kasi was there. I kept looking at him. I was like, "Oh, look at all this new material for you." What's that got to do with the price of beans? That was my favorite Kasi-ism of today.
I bet it was pretty much a good time hanging out with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we filled up that courtroom. They had to stop letting people in eventually.
Nice. That would suck to have gotten in the back of the line.
Yeah.
Ooh, go get in the car.
Well, I mean, everyone was inside, but it was just getting into the room. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Who else was there that we didn't see? You saw.
Let's see. The law girls were there. I was hanging out with J7 all day. We got
Oh, really? Hold on. Tell us about that now. Tell us about that. Because she got to be a handful.
Yeah, she was fun. Me and her drove in together. I met her, out by her work. Parked my car there. We Ubered in. And yeah, she was my buddy for the day. She's awesome. Everyone got along. Who else was there? Tom was there. Baden was there. No, not Baden. The other guy. Baden and
Bradle?
Bryant.
Michael Bryant, yeah.
Michael Bryant. Yeah, there was a lot of it was packed. There was a lot of people. Erica, of course, Dina.
Yes, we're gonna watch the Erica stream from this morning. Or some of it anyways. I want to scam through it just to,
Oh yeah, Scott McGinnis, of course. Scott McGinnis was, he's how you know that you're in the right place. It's like, oh, there's Scott. All right, this is where we go in.
We got Scott. We got a Scott sighting.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't come in though. He stayed outside and braved that cold weather.
You can't beat a Scott sighting though.
No, not at all. It's always nice to see him.
Yeah. Can't believe that y'all are all getting to hang out with these people now. That's pretty cool. Just one of the guys.
Yep. Lisa Tobin was there too with I had four pairs of pants. I still have the bottom pair on now.
Well, I bet I don't know how you could stay outside very long in that type of temperature.
It's not, you don't want to. It's not fun, but we didn't have to be out there too long. We got dropped off by the Uber like up the street, so that was the longest we had to be outside. It was first thing in the morning to get in. And then we walked to the pizza place, which was kind of far, but it was a little bit warmer. The sun was out.
Yeah. A little bit. Like 15.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still pretty bad.
It's gonna be 15 when I leave here in the morning. It's getting down to 15 tonight.
God damn.
I know, that's what I said. Ugh.
Have you ever even seen that?
Yeah, last week.
Really?
Oh yeah. It hurts.
Indoors.
It hurts. It's so humid down here. It hurts when it's that cold.
Yeah.
Like it's really heavy.
Right.
No, Jax, never felt -10. No. Haven't felt that for sure. All right, let's check this out for a few minutes, and then we'll watch the hearing because I really want to watch the hearing, but I really want to watch this. Huh?
Have you seen the hearing?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
It'll be raw reactions.
Yeah, a little Bettero action.
See, I don't even know what happened. I haven't watched
well,
it.
Bettero's it was kind of our first time seeing Bettero argue. So
Nice.
Hi, Tina. I'm gonna have to close out. I think they said I'm gonna have to close out YouTube. Hello? Oh, I think we're live. It's goddamn cold out here, people. It is. Let me know if you guys can see us. Oh, yeah, they can see us. All right, here, take that for a second.
Good morning, everyone. It's goddamn cold. I don't know what sayings are for cold, like a cow's nipple or something like that. I don't know. There was some old saying. Cold as a witch's tit.
Witch's tit.
But we're here. It doesn't matter what's going on in life. Porter, I brought my shiesty. We got our asses here in support of Aidan. This is the courthouse. It's massive. And, we were just talking about what's really weird is we got dressed in layers. Yes, it's cold out, but I didn't even think we're not in denim. They cannot make us stand outside for hours here waiting to get in like the pricks that they were in Dedham. You know what I mean? If you guys watch the old videos and stuff, we'd have to be out in the elements for a long time. And we don't have to here. When the doors, hi Tom, when the doors open, we can actually go in.
Like, hi, Tom. He's
You know what I
over
mean? Like,
playing in the snow.
it almost makes me want to cry. There's the glare! There's my glare. There's my glare. We're running. My eyes are watering. It's cold, people. Blair is out here with Scott McGinnis. Oh. Anyways, they're actually letting people through the door. You know what I mean? So, and Scott McGinnis, I feel that wind whipping right through. Unbelievable. Scott McGinnis is here with the famous Turtle Boy sign that he always has. Glare. We're live streaming. Eric is live streaming.
Hi. Oh,
say hi to everybody.
Hi, guys.
It's fucking
so
cold.
I walk in. Hi. Hi, Julie. Give me that. So I walk in there, and the security guy's like, what's that? And he's pointing at my shirt. And I'm like, Clint Eastwood? And he goes, it's a guy with a gun. You can't go in a courthouse wearing a shirt with a guy with a gun. And I was like, yeah, I can. He's like, well, you got to cover it up. And I'm like, okay, well, I got a coat and a jacket. I just had to take it off because of this.
I pulled out my Glare Institute of Law and stuff. The Scott McGinnis.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Cold out.
It is a little cold out here. Just a bit.
It's a winter.
Say hi to everybody.
Scholars guy.
Freezing free Turtle Boy.
Oh, geez.
I'm live streaming on Erica's thing.
I don't know that.
Hiya.
Hi. Oh, thanks.
How are you?
Hi, guys. How is everybody?
My eyes are watering.
Aiden said he'll be here probably within the next 15, 20 minutes.
My ears are like gonna fall off.
Scotty's here. We got a bunch of people here. A few familiar faces from Dedham. Hi.
Like I said, people, like we can actually, when our choosing is, we can walk through those doors, not like Dedham. They can't stop us.
Right. That's true. Yep.
It's weird. It's like, you know, those are the parts of the things that you don't realize of the impact that it had on us and our rights to enter a public building.
Yep.
Like we were denied those rights in Dedham. And it's so just.
See my beautiful scarf from Julie. I don't have yours. Where's it? I think you put it in your bag, right? You didn't leave it there, did you?
I think I trophy scarf.
Oh, it's there. All right. Julie gave us beautiful purple scarves for Kelsey. Yep.
Green.
Yep, purple and green. I didn't even yeah, look at I didn't even mean to, and I wore this jacket today. I know. I don't want to. I'm gonna try to keep my phone on live.
It opens at 8:30.
And to go in the courthouse, if we can get in, we can. I'll keep it on, but keep that between us. All right.
You know what's
I might have to pop out to have I gotta go check like mods and stuff. I want to make sure it's not total anarchy inside the chat. I'm gonna try to go inside real quick. Let me see how this goes. Go in where? Inside or is that what you saying? Try to get inside or go what's this? Hello. What's up? How'd you have fun last night?
Yeah, it was all right.
Good. Low-key?
Had a couple drinks. That's it.
Good. Oh, sorry. I was holding it for the lady with the cane. Thank you, though.
We can go inside, bitch.
I'm going to try.
It's not a bad idea. We must be out of the way.
We're lucky, but wait, you know what it is?
I got to warm my hands up. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Hello.
Open that place.
All right. Hi.
Slide down right this way.
Yeah, no problem.
Also, have anybody take any jackets, belts, watches, anything in your pockets?
Take it off.
Put it right in here. Belts off, please. Any watches, anything in your pockets? Any
Jewelry.
if you can.
I'm going to go off.
Okay, talk to me about that, please. Do me a favor, can you throw this desk for you too?
now you're in the little
wanna see it?
pan that you have to put all your stuff in. That's where we are right now. We're in that little pan that you put all your stuff in before
Oh,
you go.
yeah. No. Yep.
Yeah, take real quick.
You got it.
Have you just
Absolutely absurd.
It's like you have to cover it.
No, I didn't see JFK. I didn't see JFK. I didn't see J. Brill.
Are you kidding? Like they didn't say like I carry a gun on my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can't wear a t-shirt that has a gun in a courthouse in Massachusetts.
It is insane. I have no idea. I don't know. What's a famous movie he's on?
No, I'm grateful that you guys came up.
That like have never been before that like try to run in and like sit at the first seat and it drives me mental. Drives me mental.
Stand up, sit down. Like, I don't know if my mother's like losing her mind.
Yeah.
If you need me, just
Absolutely. No, definitely. I will. Thank you so much.
going on. Like today on Zoom.
Yeah.
On Zoom, is it on?
No, I know someone's doing it live. I don't know who though. Guys, don't block the door. Don't block the door. Give them some space.
They had to keep
Auto
coming
lady.
and talking to us, like a couple times. They were like, "Oh yeah, there's another courtroom like down the hall a little bit, and we can hear you guys. So quiet down or go out there." And of course, it was quiet for 5 seconds and then got loud again. But they didn't say anything else. And then we were told we couldn't take pictures in there. But then at the end, they said that they wished every group was as good as us because we were awesome. They were really nice down there.
Y'all are normies.
Yeah, they're like we really appreciate like how like I don't know, like how good you guys are listening. We wish all groups could be like this.
That's
Like,
very
okay.
patronizing. I'm glad I wasn't there. That's very patronizing. Like this isn't 3rd grade.
Yeah, right.
Somebody's got to run through there and screaming and yelling. So that makes
How
it
many
nice.
supporters were there for TB? That is a good question. Let me see if I can come up with that number for you. Keep playing.
All right.
There's a good amount of people. Hold on one second.
I'd say about like
That's just
over
up in here
40
too.
people.
Yeah, in that weather.
Sorry, not get hot. If I log off, you'll know why.
What was it like?
Yeah, my live. I told everybody. I'd show everybody, but it was too cold outside.
You said
We all couldn't stand out there.
Yeah, no.
It's like not like a usual day in Dedham, you know? It's way too cold. No, he's not here yet. He said he'll be here shortly. Probably trying to get inside now. I didn't see any ICE protests.
So the one where y'all are all eating, that was on Glares, but it's
That
a
was
member.
Blair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
so
members of one.
TB got there when we got there, so he was right behind us in line. So we were able to, be right there as soon as he walked into the courthouse to greet him and wish him luck and all that stuff.
Well, damn, Mary B. Mary B had a day.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those days where you're just like so grateful for this community, It's just like everyone coming out and just like everyone's hugging and glad to see each other and, all supporting Turtle Boy and like really paying attention to what's going on in court. You can see Erica, just like reacting to what's going on in there and like you just look at her and be like, yep, that's how we all feel,
Yeah. But it was nice that people were there. It's
Yeah.
hard to get people to go out in that kind of weather. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the whole situation, it's like in the middle of Boston, parking is not easy. Like, I think there was a garage there, but like, you never know what you're going to get when you go out to like Boston, places in Boston. Like, if you're going to be able to park without like breaking the bank and so cold and like the traffic Friday mornings. It's just like there were so many people like keeping so many things keeping people from there, but everyone still showed up. So it was amazing.
So
He did look sharp. Oh, there we are.
Where are you?
That's what my brother-in-law said. So I'm like right under the flag. I have my hood on, my glasses. No, well, there's Cassie.
Kazi G.
Yeah. And let's see, I have a hood on.
There you are.
That's me.
There you are, Waldo. Gotcha.
Yeah, it was freaking cold, dude. Like, I don't like it.
It's pretty
very-
pretty neat.
Yeah, those are just the people we could get to like stick around for everyone to come out so we could get a picture. So
Tom CPUs. I don't know any of those other people.
yeah, a lot of these people are just like they're there pretty much for like they're like always there, you know.
There's Dana. It's Dana.
Sitting on the cold stairs.
Oh, I bet it was freezing right there. For a reason.
No one can find me in the picture.
Nobody can what?
No one can find me in the picture.
Oh my God. Mary B is right there. Oh shit, I gotta put it back up. You're right there with the red bandana and the glasses on.
Yeah, it was actually a red like hat, poopy hat, but
Oh, it's a hat.
yeah.
Oh, I see it now. It's like a skull cap, yeah, thing.
Yeah.
Ear warmer.
Yeah,
Well,
it was cool. It was so cool to like, you know, meet a lot of the people that I hadn't met yet. I was so happy to meet Claire. We like hung out for a while over there.
nice.
Yeah, Lisa's sitting next to Dina with the freezing cold concrete. Ugh,
Oh,
I would
that
not
looks,
been able to get up.
that looks bitter.
Oh, it was terrible.
That looks a bitter. So let's do it.
All right.
We're gonna watch this on Baker's stream. Ow. Sorry. That was probably loud. We'll watch this on Baker's stream.
Okay.
Check it out. See how it goes. And I don't know what happened, so how many times have you watched it today?
Well, I was there and then I watched it while I was driving home on Melanie. So twice.
Good. So don't let me miss any of the good points.
I won't.
Let's go.
Do I click on share screen? Yes. Share screen down in the button and just share it. Oh.
And make sure if you're not subbed to Baker, go get subbed to Baker.
I'm just gonna put it on with make sure that I have the audio on. Share with audio. Share. And when I do this, it means.
Video.
Could you please tell me if there is?
Say it again.
Justice Served was in there. So
Yeah.
he took the video, so he has a different video. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah. I hope this one has better sound. We'll find out.
Audio.
This is the Zoom, I think.
But Aidan, Betterow, and Bradle is on screen right now.
Oh, you get to see us all come in. Nobody's in there yet. We're like all waiting in line. Oh, it's funny because Costi was like the last one in. We were trying.
Yes, they're 15 minutes late. But
We were
this is
trying to show
Massachusetts, so anything under an hour late is not late.
We were trying to show Costi where to sit. We're like,
Bradle isn't a tall
Costi
guy.
over here, and we're like not realizing that the real Cosgrove is in there, and we're calling Costi to come sit. And we're like, Costi, this way.
I'm trying to find where it actually starts.
Yeah, it took a while. See, there we're all in there now.
You are appreciated, ma'am.
Yeah, see, Costi's coming in.
There's Tom. That's Mr. Cossi G. Cussy GG, the real G.
Not good. Not the best home dog. But at least he gives it a whirl, you know.
Yeah.
According to are they zooming in the development? So maybe they have that. Maybe there is Wi-Fi in there. I don't know courtroom yet, or we went live. To be honest,
You can tell I haven't
5
watched.
months haven't been easy on Aidan. First of all, you have all the ATBs.
As many people as we can in the audience. I understand there are some folks outside. The court has opened the matter in. Just to
For Mr. Kearney, Mark Federer. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Cosgrove. Mr. Bradle.
For Mr. Kearney, Mark Federer. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Federer. Okay, just to be clear, we've accommodated as many people as we can in the audience. I understand there are some folks outside. The court has opened the matter to Zoom, primarily because of the weather and the parking conditions. I'm not going to say that we're going to have it on Zoom every single time, but to those who can't be in the courtroom right now, we are broadcasting by Zoom. I further note the court was prepared to come out at 9, but the delay was due to the late arrival of some of the counsel. So with that, I would remind all parties who are attending by Zoom that any rebroadcast, if you are not qualified under SJC Rule 1.1119, rebroadcast is prohibited. Those who are qualified and have registered are certainly free to rebroadcast as appropriate. So with that, my intention today is to cover papers 110, 117 in part, 125, and 127. Those are the matters which deal with the request for the recusal or removal of Mr. Cosgrove as counsel for the Commonwealth. Now, before we begin that, particularly Mr. Bedrow, just to you, and I know Judge Doolin may have talked to you about this a little bit.
All right, good timing before we get started. What's up, Lolly?
Hey guys.
Hi,
Maybe
Lolly.
have you had a nap yet?
I had a really quick nap. I had to go to my niece's school tonight too, so I got home, napped for like a half an hour, and just went right to the school, and now I'm here. I'm gonna
It
sleep
was
good
worth
tonight.
it though. It had to have been. That was
Yeah, it was
awesome.
awesome. It was really nice to see everybody.
Only thing I've heard so far is that there were people hugging. How did that go for you?
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
This time she's fine with
I
it.
always, Dina always breaks me in. You know, she comes running with a big hug, and from there, I'm just like, oh, I love everybody.
Okay, it's cool. I'll touch y'all. Body warmth.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this thing. Let's do it. I've been waiting to watch this all day. Here we go. I'm not speeding it up either.
Going forward, we don't follow.
Have you watched it, Lolly?
I've watched the breakdown on Justice Served, and then I started watching the hearing. I'm about a quarter of the way through it.
Cool. Well, here we go.
File affidavits as motions. Rule 13 requires a motion to be a motion. It can be supported by a memorandum of law, it can be supported by an affidavit. The matter we're here for today, there is in fact no motion on file. I'll take it as it sits because it's been responded to. But going forward, if you want to file a motion, it has to be a motion. It has to be clearly captioned as to what you're looking for. Further, it has to deal with one subject at a time. I'm not going to do motions that deal with the entire kitchen sink. There'll be one motion at a time. It's going to be clearly noted. If you want to put a memorandum of law, again, you have to reference the motion you're dealing with. Further, if you want to put an affidavit, the affidavit has to reference the motion that you've filed. If you want to put in a supplemental motion or a supplemental memorandum, it has to list the paper number that you're talking about. Going through this over the last several days and trying to figure out what I'm dealing with took an amount of time, which is kind of absurd because I'm trying to trace back what you're talking about and I can't find the motion because it doesn't exist. So I understand you're not local to Massachusetts. Mr. Bradle is extremely experienced and quite good at drafting these things. So
because I was going to say that's my fault. I'm local counsel.
I should have made sure that that was that way, and we'll make sure that going forward.
And I note that paper number 127 is more in the form that we used to in this court. So I just want to remind everybody where we're at. And again, not familiar with the area, that's okay. Just going forward, I don't want to have to sort of parse through what we're dealing with, nor do I want to have to hear from Mr. Cosgrove saying there's no motion filed, because it's a pretty good point on his part. So with that, let's take up the matters that are before the court. You're the moving party. I don't know who wants to argue, Mr. Bradle or Mr. Betterow.
Mr. Betterow, Your Honor.
We'll hear from you.
Thank you.
Understand, I've looked
You're muted.
at all your motions, as well as all of the
I didn't
exhibits.
say much. I just said I'm ready for this. Dogs are barking.
They need to give him a stool for the podium.
Yeah, they need to get him a little step stool.
May I, Your Honor?
You may.
Counsel states that a recent conflict of interest has developed, which ethically precludes him from continuing to prosecute matters in which Lindsay Gaetani is an alleged victim or party. Those are the words of Mr. Cosgrove on September 24th, 2025, regarding his request to be removed from another indictment in which Lindsay Gaetani was a witness, and we'll get to in this argument why she may very well be a witness in this case.
Witness is different from victim, correct?
I'm sorry?
Witness is different from victim, right?
Of course. But as we'll get to, Your Honor, if a prosecutor or anyone has a personal interest that may differ from Commonwealth's or to a defendant's right to a fair trial, that's something that has to be factored in. The point of that comment, Your Honor, is that Mr. Cosgrove acknowledged that there was a conflict arising out of Ms. Gaetani's claims against him. She has accused him of unprofessional and unethical conduct and has sued him. He draws the line.
I note that the last docket entry in that case was it was in the process of being settled. That's paper number 15 on that case that was filed just last week.
Judge, whether the civil case continues or not isn't even necessarily the issue.
Explain why that would not be a problem.
Because she has accused him, a lawyer, a former judge, of unethical behavior, and he has a personal interest, understandably so, in defending himself against that. And in any matter in which her credibility becomes an issue, she testifies in a trial, he has an interest in discrediting her, which may be very different from the Commonwealth's interest, which I'll get into as to why that may be. But the point is, calling her an alleged victim and that there is a conflict because of her allegations against me, merely being a witness in a case in which she may testify, as the difference which somehow makes his personal interest, acting both as a criminal prosecutor while serving as a civil defendant and potentially cross-examining your civil accuser and your lead detective, is a civil co-defendant who has also been accused of misconduct, undermines the public confidence in the proceedings and demonstrates that a prosecutor could have a personal interest. The bottom line, Your Honor, the difference between witness and alleged victim is a distinction without a difference if the prosecutor has a personal interest which could significantly impact his representation of a party in the case. That's the Rule 1.7 issue. Now, Mr. Cosgrove has replied that, well, we're not going to call Ms. Gaetani as a witness, and that certainly is right for the time being anyway as the prosecutor for the Commonwealth. But the defense may very well call her. Her credibility will be an issue, obviously, if she testifies in this case. At that point, having a prosecutor who has been accused of misconduct, who is named as a civil defendant, attacking her credibility and attempting to defend the credibility of other witnesses whose credibility could be impeached by Ms. Gaetani is a problem. It's a problem because the jury would have a right to know what the prosecutor's interests may be. It's not...
Well, he chose not to cross-examine her.
That's a decision that has to be made by a disinterested prosecutor.
What if you got someone else to cross-examine her?
That may or may not solve the problem. Certainly it would with the direct examination of her.
But he's not going to call her. He's made that clear.
I understand that. What I'm suggesting to the court is we may very well do that.
You may, and you'd have to get permission from the court to do that because you'd have to show me that it's relevant, but that's another issue.
Come on, man.
Dude. Dude. Like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, the second we get in there, it's just like, this is how it's going to go. Seriously?
Oh my God, this is not going the way I would hoped. I don't like
I mean,
the tone. I don't like his tone already.
He's acting like he's being inquisitive and trying to be a thorough judge, but for the people who know this case so well, it's very irritating.
Oh God.
On the
But I
road.
mean, it is
I'm
a
going to tell
good
you.
question. Like, can another prosecutor question her? But at the same time, she's threatening to sue the whole DA's office.
Yeah, and that's not the point. The point is that, like, he shouldn't be on this case because, like, it's more than just what the case is supposed to be,
It's
you know?
personal,
Right,
whether
right.
he wants it to be or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is about to get bad.
Right now, respectfully, why it may be relevant beyond just the substance of her testimony. Mr. Cosgrove addressed the substance of her testimony as it relates to the allegations against Mr. Kearney. She also may very well be a witness who can expose bias of other important prosecution witnesses, who could expose conduct on behalf of some of those important prosecution witnesses, conduct which is not at all consistent.
Well, let's get to the nub of it, all right? Because I've read all your materials, so you don't need to repeat the argument to me. Look, as I understand the issue here, Ms. Gaetani, that's the correct pronunciation, is it not? Ms. Gaetani has an interaction with Special Prosecutor Mello in December, I think the 24th, was it, or the 23rd?
Something like that.
Of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
It's around that time that she's alleged to have some interaction with Ms. McCabe. Is that correct?
Among other times, yes.
Well, around that time is my understanding, based on the evidence you presented me. Around that time, Ms. McCabe urges her to go to the grand jury. Do the right thing, go to the grand jury, something along those lines. All right, is that correct?
In substance, but I think it's interpretational, and the witness might expand upon that.
I understand that. All of those events occurred 6 months after the events that are in play here. So the relevance of those events is only as to the credibility, potentially, of Ms. McCabe. Now, you might be able to get into that. You might be able to even confront Ms. McCabe. But then you're going to have to raise an issue of whether or not you get into a trial within a trial, so to speak, the extrinsic evidence rule, which takes us to whether or not she is even going to be a witness to talk about potential bias after the fact. This is after the fact bias.
Yeah.
On an issue which, frankly, I'm struggling with a little bit, because nobody contests the acts here. All right? Mr. Kearney is a citizen journalist, sort of a new breed of journalist, correct? He presents to this court that all of his activities are fully protected under the First Amendment. A very reasonable argument, okay? Mr. Cosgrove says different. He says this is witness intimidation. The motivation of Ms. McCabe to his acts is tangential by and large, is it not?
Judge,
now she's going to testify, yes, I was intimidated. But the main factor here is the nature of the comment, which is recorded, made voluntarily and recorded. Now, you are correct. There's an excellent argument to be made, perhaps, that Gaetani and Genduso and McCabe may have all had some idea that they were going to get together and get his bail revoked. But that's not what this trial's about. This trial's about what happened 6 months before. So you got to draw me to the relevance of that.
Well, her bias and motive against him, whether before, during, or after, I would suggest is certainly relevant. Moreover,
it's all after. There's no before.
Judge, you mentioned a moment ago about the fact that she's going to come in and say, I felt intimidated or I was emotionally harmed. I think we would all agree that would be relevant about what the impact that these horrible allegations had on her. There will be evidence through electronic communications between Gaetani and McCabe, which Gaetani may very well have to authenticate as a witness, because frankly, we don't assume or take any guess what Ms. McCabe will say where shortly after Mr. Kearney was released from jail, from what Your Honor just spoke about, where Ms. McCabe recruited Ms. Gaetani and orchestrated surveilling him from various police stations and to other locations, joking about going on a stakeout. In other words, conduct not consistent with her being intimidated. Those actions will also
the intimidation doesn't have to last forever. Intimidation, we're only trying one slice in time. That's the bedrock of any criminal defendant, right? But not trying his entire life, we're trying that moment.
But these are questions that have to be posed to Ms. McCabe, and she'll have and should be forced to answer them and explain them.
I don't necessarily disagree with that.
Okay, so the point is, we don't know what Ms. McCabe will say. We know, based upon messages that we've seen, which would need to be authenticated, presumably what Ms. Gaetani will say about these issues.
Which seems to move with time from poll to poll, correct?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Yeah, and when it moved to their poll, they used it in their advantage. So now that it's on the other poll, they don't want to use it.
Yeah, you can't prejudge witnesses either, you know? Like, let her get on the stand, see what she has to say.
He does realize that the prosecution has to prove this in court and to a jury.
Well, I mean, they're arguing
A slice in time.
They're arguing over whether or not Lindsay Gaetani being involved in this case should have any bearing on Cosgrove staying on the case. So it's not so much about Jen McCabe right now, except that the judge is trying to say that Lindsay and Jen McCabe didn't interact any back when she was feeling intimidated. So he wants Federer to explain the relevance of why Lindsay being a witness with Cosgrove being on the case is going to have any bearing, because the witness intimidation charges happened 6-7 months prior.
It seems like her allegiances have changed as this case has developed.
She is, without question, a unique witness, which raises another interesting point, which could lead to the possible conflict with Mr. Cosgrove. She is a former prosecution witness. There's no question. She testified in grand jury. She testified at a trial called and vouched for by Mr. Cosgrove.
Quite enthusiastically, as I understand.
I believe so, Judge. No question. And at that point, they had no problem with Ms. Gaetani. But at this point, she's now sued Mr. Cosgrove. She has sued Tully. She has threatened to sue or sent a demand letter to the DA's office. And when that happened, Mr. Cosgrove said, I have a conflict with her because he has a personal interest in seeing her discredited. And I'm going back to what I first started with, Your Honor. The issue is not because she's an alleged victim. She's a potential witness in this case, and the prosecutor has a personal interest in seeing her discredited. And the critical part comes in the argument to the jury at the end of the trial. When McCabe has testified, it's in Mr. Cosgrove's personal interest that she be credited, Gaetani not be credited. When Tully testifies, it's the same exercise. He's a co-defendant of his.
What's Tully going to testify to?
Is Tully going to testify? We're not calling Tully.
Mr. Cosgrove, what's Tully going to testify to? Is he even a witness?
He doesn't fucking know. He doesn't fucking know. Jesus, man.
I was actually surprised by that comment that they're not going to call Tully. Even if it's no relevance to the intimidation charge, I'd put him on blast for that whole conspiracy at Christmas time.
Okay, hold on.
Call Lieutenant Tully, or whether I need to call Lieutenant Tully. It seems to me that the...
Wait, Danny. They're going to have to call Tully about how the messages disappeared from Lindsay's phone. That Kate Peter posted, and there's messages that aren't in the extract. I mean, he's got to be called.
Well, I mean, they said earlier, the judge said, well, why can't we just get somebody else to cross her? Because we're having a fucking problem getting people to prosecute the fucking case to start with.
They
Who
talk
the
about
fuck
it
is gonna
some
come
more,
down here and
and
cross here?
yeah, they talk about it some more as a possible solution, but the
Yeah,
whole
but
point
they
is,
can't even get anybody to prosecute the fucking case. But Cosgrove, he's 85 years old. They're all laughing about it down at the fucking DA's office.
and she's going to have a negative connotation towards anyone from the state who questions her because
Can't we just get somebody else to cross here?
she
Yeah,
feels
okay.
slighted.
You're the 10th judge, for Christ's sake.
And she feels slighted by the state. No matter who they put up there, she's going to be defensive.
Videos, which Mr. Kearney has himself made public, documenting his statements and actions are pretty much self-authenticating. I'm not sure.
Well, I think you may have to make a choice here fairly quick if we're going to deal with this issue. But continue.
Look, the bottom line is Detective Lieutenant Tully is the lead investigator on this matter. Now, that doesn't obligate the Commonwealth to call him, but he is the driving force behind this. He built the investigation. He got the.
Since when do we make it a habit in America? The guy that investigates you, or the lady that investigates you as the lead investigator and charges you with crimes, but they don't have to testify. Oh, you better bring that motherfucker down here to tell you whatever he found.
They're about to talk about that for a little bit.
I know, but it's just stupid to even think that, oh, we may not use the lead investigator on the case. So he doesn't really believe.
Well, I mean, it happened in Walsh. Like, it started with Karen, then Walsh. Now we're talking TV, like lead investigators. Nah, not important.
What are y'all doing in Massachusetts?
Search warrant.
This is not your classic whodunit.
No.
This is not the investigation where they find evidence on a scene, they develop the evidence on the scene, they trace the suspects, they get phone downloads, they do this, that, the other. This is a very unique set of facts. Where the defendant recorded himself and then voluntarily broadcast his actions to the world at large. So the investigation essentially is press record, and then a jury of his peers, all right, would judge the mores of our society to determine whether or not this is acceptable First Amendment or not acceptable First Amendment.
The point I'm making, Your Honor, is that Tully.
And I would like the jury of peers to make that decision. I don't want to make it. I want the jury of his peers to make that decision.
The point I'm making, Your Honor, is on this issue is that.
There's your answer right there. He's never dismissing this shit. It's going to a jury, period.
Sounds like
he was very optimistic in talking about how strong the motion to dismiss was.
He sounds real optimistic. He just said he's not making that decision.
It's a roller coaster ride. It's kind of a roller coaster ride.
You have to look for hidden context. I feel like he's trying to
That
play
is
the
the
media.
hidden context.
There's more though. There's more hidden context. Watch.
Tully is the lead investigator, and certainly I can only speak from my own experience, perhaps others, that it would be extraordinarily rare not to call.
I don't find that to be accurate in my experience. I've seen it happen a number of times, much to my disappointment when I sat over there, okay?
I've seen it happen, and I've taken that from the other side of the table in prosecuting rather than defending, in letting juries know who built the case, what is going on here. But the point...
And fairly pointed out by the defense, and you didn't hear from them.
It could be. It may very well be, but that could also lead to the reason why. Okay, the issues surrounding Gaetani's claims, the defense wants to argue they're not calling Tully. Perhaps the jury may be entitled, not asking Your Honor to make evidentiary rulings now, obviously, but the jury may want to know and be entitled to know why isn't the prosecutor calling him, and might it have something to do with what Gaetani alleges. But moving away from Tully to the larger point, it's not even so much the cross-examinations, or other evidence, which I would suggest are improper being conducted by a prosecutor with a personal interest in favoring certain witnesses over the one that is suing him. It's the summations, it's the argument. If Mr. Cosgrove has an opportunity to cross-examine Ms. Gaetani, assuming he does, as Your Honor noted, maybe he won't, but I would suggest, again, that's a decision to be made by a disinterested prosecutor, not one with a personal interest.
Well, let's define the personal interest. Like, it is, anybody can bring a lawsuit against anybody, all right?
Yo, Mr. Judge Dipshit guy. She is Cassie's witness. Was she first hooked up with Cassie or Mello? I can't remember.
It was Mello.
Yeah. So, yeah, she's been working with your guys over there, buddy, for a long time. She just came back to the light. She just came back for some cookies or something. I don't know. She's
And that's
back.
obvious. That's obviously a point of contention with the judge. He pointed it out very early.
Yeah, and
About
like, how does he know that? Like, how does he know so much about what she said?
from Costy's motions that he's filed.
Yeah, but he seems to know more
And
than
he
what.
said very enthusiastic witness.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's done his homework.
Mm-hmm. On that,
You know, he's
part of it.
On what part of? Oh, yeah. I get
Lindsay's
it.
Lindsay's personality part of it.
Yeah, very unique witness.
The actions that are alleged here by Mr. Cosgrove, and most of them appear, frankly, seem to have occurred prior to his arrival in the case. But the actions are alleged were done solely in his role as a special prosecutor. You know, his immunity is almost impenetrable, correct?
In a legal sense.
Sir, this is a legal setting.
No, Your Honor, my point is this. Personal interests don't rise and fall. They're not black and white because you've been sued or not sued. She has publicly and loudly accused a distinguished prosecutor of misconduct that he himself recognized after the lawsuit was filed. This lawsuit that we're saying has no merit, what did he do? He sought removal because I'm ethically precluded from cross-examining her. It's the same issue.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure that's what he said, but I'll take that for what it is.
Well, Judge, I just want the record to be clear. What he said was, counsel states that a recent conflict of interest has developed, which ethically precludes him from continuing to prosecute matters when Gaetani is an alleged victim or party, and we talked about whether we use alleged victim or witness as the issue. The point is...
Well, that's why I say that's not exactly what he said. What he said was...
Yes. No, I'm not trying to substitute that. We're trying to, in my view, suggest it's a distinction without a difference, because he has been attacked. And when he withdrew from the other case, the lawsuit against him was no better or no worse than it is now. So he didn't make that argument back then to say, this is some garbage lawsuit, I have no real conflict. What he said was, I am ethically precluded.
All right, I take your point. Mr. Cosgrove, if you're ethically precluded from one, why aren't you ethically precluded from two? I'll come back to this issue of the 2025 investigation too.
I reserve my answer on that.
What did he just say? So the fucking judge asked you a fucking question in fucking court, and you
I'll
fucking
reserve
said,
my answer on that.
I'll answer you later. I'll answer you later.
Like, what?
What the F? WTF, OMG, WTF.
Yeah, that was like, as soon as he said that, I'm like, it's gonna be a good day for Kasi to be here, get some new material.
He just said, you know what, Judge? I'll answer you later.
For when?
Surprise!
When it's my turn to speak.
I was about to give you your turn to speak, but I'll go back to Mr. Bedero. Let's talk about the 2025 investigation.
Your Honor, can I make one point I didn't get to? We kind of got. It's the summations where the real problem arises here. Because if Gaetani were cross-examined by Mr. Cosgrove, in essence, it is almost a free deposition. It is sworn testimony of her by a litigant against another litigant in a civil matter in which he has the full power of the government cross-examining, which will benefit his personal interest. Then you go to summation. Presumably, his argument will be Gaetani is not believable, Gaetani is not credible, but McCabe is. Now, those are appropriate arguments by most people to make, not him, because it is in his personal interest, not just as a representative of the Commonwealth. It is in his personal interest that she be discredited. And the jury should know that. Now, I'm not saying that's an appropriate outcome either. The appropriate outcome is that he be removed, because if he's vouching for the credibility, not in an illegal sense, but advocating for the jury to adopt Jen McCabe and discredit Lindsay Gaetani, the jury should not be ignorant to the fact that this guy's getting sued and wants her to be discredited. That is not the kind of thing that the public can have confidence in when they find out that the prosecutor who is judging everyone's credibility is discrediting her, crediting another, and it's tantamount to him giving unsworn testimony.
This goes back to the issue of relevance that we talked about before, and this is where I'm a little bit hung up. What McCabe does 6, 8, 10 months after the allegations here, because the allegations with regard to McCabe, as I can tell, they occur on 6/6, 9/20, and 7/22. Those are the 3 dates where she's alleged to have been intimidated. So none of these matters involving Gaetani develop until perhaps December, right?
Gaetani's, some of her testimony, though, Judge, will corroborate other evidence we have of Jen McCabe's pattern of surveilling Mr. Kearney.
But when
before he was indicted.
But when?
In 2023, July of 2023. We have documented evidence of her, the intimidated and emotionally harmed witness, contacting Mr. Kearney on social media and alluding to the fact, I know where you are, which is exactly what we're talking about with Gaetani.
That's a fair point to cross-examine her on. No doubt.
Don't know what he's going to say. From our perspective, having seen some of her other testimony and other proceedings, we don't just assume that she's going to be forthright.
Say it again.
I wish she would have also brought up the sending the partially nude photos of John Como and stuff to him, because that all happened around the same time.
Hey, can you zoom in this?
They're gonna have to show him in court because this judge ain't throwing the shit out.
But he was just talking.
Sucks.
Can you zoom this video?
No. Why?
Because I'll show you where I am.
Oh, I can't make it any bigger now.
Oh.
I can blow it up on my phone. Which side are you on? I want to see.
I am like right in between Federo and Aidan, but I'm in the second row. My head is kind of hidden because I believe this camera is right where the judge was sitting, and I would have to kind of do this to see the judge.
Oh, are you like looking up and over someone's head right now?
Probably.
Okay.
I was very uncomfortable on there. I was like, my legs like falling asleep, and
if you're looking under the clock, you're to the right against the wall.
To the left.
All right. Here we go. Everybody find Mary B.
And we have a right. She's the star witness of this case.
I may need to know a little bit more about that. In terms of, if you want to file something and pound it to me, that's fine.
The final point I'll make, to Your Honor, before you have any other questions, is it's important that we're raising this now. This is well before trial. The prosecution is clearly on notice. I don't know where this may lead to, what else could be discovered. You know, this is a unique case, as you've noted, and evidence is discovered in all kinds of odd ways, believe me, with how these cases proceed and who shares what and those kinds of things. It's critical for us to make this record now, alert the court respectfully.
I have no issue with you making a record.
Because if it comes up later after a jury is impaneled, there is a risk of a mistrial, and that will not be our fault. And we think at that point,
Listen, Mr. Bitter, I have no issue with you bringing the motion. You're supposed to. You need to advocate for your client in any way you think is appropriate. I'm just trying to flesh it out here, so I understand exactly what the issues are. I'm struggling with the relevance issues. You may have to give me more information on that, so I understand it a little bit better. Because the way I read things, they're much later in time. Now, if you've got something that's more contemporaneous to the alleged intimidation, I think that's very, very relevant, and would have to sort of play out how that would come in and what the form of that evidence. So we'll come back to that at some point when you're ready to talk to me about that. But talk to me about this. Your motion had 3 parts. Your affidavit had 3 parts, and one was the 2024. That's moot because it's already been done. The second was this issue. The third was this idea that I could preclude the executive branch from investigating things in 2025. Can you give me some authority which says I have the ability to do that?
It's a unique situation, Your Honor. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there is a case law roadmap to what's happening, but what's important to recognize here, you've been asking us these questions about how is Gaetani relevant. She is extraordinarily relevant to what we're calling the 2025 investigation, which results in these search warrants for the phones of Karen Reed,
which is still pending with Judge Krupp.
Right.
Let me play that out 2 ways. What if Judge Krupp says you can have access to the phones? Then we're going to have a much longer issue, correct? Is that going to come into this case?
Well, they're telling us that 2 people are under investigation. I mean, it's hard for us to know, right? I mean, they're attempting allegedly to indict Mr. Kearney and Karen Reed for actions in which they already tried to indict and a grand jury said no. And now 2 years later with phones that have been gathering dust, we need to look in these phones and, God knows what we'll find. But the point is the search warrants in that case are critical and certainly could relate to evidence used against Mr. Kearney. There are 2 informants in that search warrant. One of them is Lindsay Gaetani. And the affiant of that warrant is Detective Tully. And there are about 10 paragraphs, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't know the exact number.
I read the warrants.
Relying on her, and it is loaded with information which she provided them. And we're back to the person.
What's up, Ray? What's going on? Apology accepted. But everybody else has accepted too. I can't accept it for them, so.
I accept it.
I found.
Oh, yay.
Kazi, you got some static.
I do?
Yeah, it sounds like it's raining.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
I found Merb.
Merb looks like she has a gag in her mouth in that picture.
I do, don't I? I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I'm in the second row.
There's Merb.
That's my little blob head.
There's the Glera.
Yeah. I got to look at the back of the Glera's head and the back of frickin' Cosgrove's head.
Danny, is that any better?
That's perfect right there. That's good.
I heard in the interview after court where he asked Michael Bryant the question about Middlesex court, like he was mocking Cossie.
Yeah.
Did he behave during court? Was he behaving in court, or was he like laughing about that and cutting up, not being
I
still?
almost laughed a couple times, but I didn't know like if the camera was on me or anything, so it was just like when he would Mr. Cosgrove's not even getting started yet. I almost broke out into laughter. A bunch of people looked at me
over. He was in my row. I was like, stop looking at him.
A bunch of people looked at me. I'm like, I don't know. What do you want me to tell you?
All right, we got to watch this thing. Let's get after it. But yeah, Ray's good with me. As soon as the wife sounds off, the wife's got to sound off on that. So, but yeah, I wish everybody the best. And people are wondering what Ray's apologizing for. If you don't know, then don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry your little heads.
It's our thing. We're gonna move on.
Yeah. Keep moving on. Keep moving on.
For sure.
Oh, this is not good. I don't like this.
Dang, you feel that way, and people in the chat, I understand, are frustrated, but I didn't get the vibe from the attorneys and Aidan after court when they did the press conference that they were that.
They were in good spirits, you know, so it's like, it couldn't have been that bad. It just like, it seems really annoying, but like.
Yeah. But I feel like the attorneys took it as typical judge stuff.
It is really annoying.
It is annoying.
It is really annoying because
it wasn't like how they responded to Krupp, though. You could tell how frustrated they were with
but you
Krupp.
can tell they're still reading stuff. They need to watch some of the videos of these intimidated people being very intimidated outside of fucking pizza places.
But they're not in evidence yet. The judge
I
can't
know,
watch
but
it if it's not
come on,
there.
it's the judge. The judge can do whatever he wants.
Not if he hasn't been presented it. That's the question.
Also, of Mr. Cosgrove. So that really was meant to just inform the court that this is a living, breathing issue.
I will agree with you. It's a living, breathing issue. It's just not a living, breathing issue over which I have authority.
Fair enough.
When that comes to me, if it comes to me, I don't know if my special assignment encompasses that. We'll see. But if it comes to me, then we'll deal with that issue. I can find nothing which gives me the authority to restrict that activity. Judge Krupp has the authority on the search warrants, and he'll make a decision in due time. But I find nothing which gives me the authority to restrict prospectively an investigation that's being done by the executive branch.
Judge, just before I sit down, and unless the court has any other questions, I just want to correct one last thing, Your Honor.
So Krupp signed the search warrants. Is that why he has authority over them? Is he the judge that issued them or whatever?
No, because the attorneys brought that argument in front of Krupp.
Right. Yeah.
Back when.
Yeah, I remember that. I thought they passed all that shit off onto this guy.
No. That's still an argument in front of Brennan that Brennan brought up.
Right.
That he tried to say was Karen's case, but was what he tried to say it was TV's case, but it was under Karen's case number. That's the whole move, get out the way scene. That's what happened that day.
So any of
Why
that,
have they not
stuff
fucking
left over before still stays with those judges, whoever they were.
How long ago was that? Why is that still a pending ordeal?
It shouldn't be. That's Massachusetts. That's what I
What
said.
fucking
It's like
judge
the
can't make that
slowest
decision?
judicial state.
That's a long time.
He's got a lot of political pressure on him over that decision.
But yeah, but what's the time frame on making the decision?
I don't think they have one.
How can you not have one? They have their lawyers. They have a time frame for everything. This is not.
There's a lot of time frame talk at the end.
Cosgrove didn't even make a reply to this thing he was in court today. Apparently that shit doesn't matter.
But he's trying to say,
oh, well,
I never got around to it, Your Honor. Like, you know what I mean? Just
I thought he was trying to say he didn't have to reply because
well,
Federer didn't do
also
it in the
that's
right
what I just
format.
wanted to bring up. There was no motion on the record. How?
It was an affidavit, not a motion.
That's annoying to me, honestly.
Well, I mean, put it on Bradle.
Exactly.
He's the local guy.
You're
who brings
pro-hawk.
Betterow in.
Exactly.
You know, Pro Hawk VJ. I mean, you don't know that?
Are you not paying attention to what he's filing? Like, that's my concern. Like, where's the communication breakdown?
This is crazy. All right, we'll get back into this now.
That's
I
what they
mentioned
started out with.
About a lawsuit being settled. That is not the lawsuit involving Mr. Cosgrove. There's no.
Sure it is. I looked at the docket this morning.
Not with him. That's with other parties to the litigation, is my understanding.
Okay. Well, let me play this out for you. It's, as I said, I have some familiarity with this immunity issue since I routinely see these motions. It's a very strong motion to dismiss. If that motion is filed and heard, again, accusation is one thing, but it would seem like there's a little bit more. You'd have to have some substance to it to actually disqualify him. But I'll keep an open mind on it. Anything more?
Anything else?
No, I read all your stuff.
Thank you.
Anything more?
No, sir.
Mr. Bradley, anything?
No, Judge, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Kearney, Mr. Cosgrove. If not, if you're...
How do you get those two mixed up?
He called everyone Mr. Crossgrove today. It was weird.
Yeah, he was tongue-tied at times.
4 people.
You know what he couldn't say? He's like, how if you were recused in this case, how are you not recused on this case? And he kept getting that all screwed up.
Yeah.
The judge, remember that?
Oh my God.
You're conflicted out of
If
one case,
people-
why aren't you
Yeah,
There it goes right there.
there it is.
conflicted out on the other?
Good timing, Cossie.
That's the real big question here. Conflicted out in one case, why aren't you conflicted out on the other?
But I get
That's the real big question here.
Well, I don't think the two necessarily follow, Your Honor. Obviously, before I filed my motion,
Those two necessarily
in the
follow,
other
Your
case,
Honor.
I would have been a poor attorney indeed if I didn't think about whether it also required me to withdraw in this case. And the motion to withdraw was, at least I attempted to phrase it quite carefully, to say that I had a conflict because Ms. Catani was the alleged victim in that case. Not that she was a witness in that case, but that she was the alleged victim. And as we all know, Your Honor, the Commonwealth does not represent the victim. The Commonwealth represents the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. But nevertheless, it was essentially an argument that I would be making in that case that Mr. Kearney committed crimes against Ms. Catani. That
Skatoony, by the way,
put me in the impossible position of raising the suggestion that I was going forward to vindicate Ms. Catani's interests, perhaps to mollify her or to persuade her to withdraw the action against me. That's not the case where she is simply a witness.
Well, what do you say to the idea that you'd want to discredit her for your own benefit if it came to trial?
Well, that's a very interesting point.
That's a good fucking question, Your Honor.
Well, that's my whole case. That's literally the whole fucking case. You can't answer the question about what's the whole case. I don't like him.
Let me think about that over the next 7 months.
And
Yeah, I don't like
a couple
him.
of problems with
Put him in jail.
one problem is the practical matter. I don't see how any way that I went about discrediting her testimony in this trial would spill over to the other litigation, because it doesn't seem to me that it would be in any way relevant to the other litigation. I suppose I could adopt the defense theory that everything is relevant to every issue, but I don't see how indicating that Ms. Catani was not credible in making statements about the investigation of Mr. Kearney here would have any relevance to an accusation that I breached some sort of duty to her by turning over a police report, which is the contention. Also, Your Honor, assuming that this even survives a motion to dismiss, and I'm talking now about the Middlesex case, I don't think there's any factual dispute.
Worcester case. There's nothing in Middlesex, right?
I'm sorry, Worcester, yes,
Okay,
thank you.
all right.
I appreciate the correction.
Can we do a count?
I
of how
don't
many
think
times
there's
he
any
says it?
factual dispute as to what happened.
what?
In my capacity as a prosecutor, I provided Mr. Bradel with the police report in question as discovery. It made its way by whatever means from Mr. Bradel to Mr. Kearney, who then publicized details of it and turned it over to a friend, an associate, whatever you want to call him, who actually put the whole report, as I understand it, on the internet and began pillaring Ms. Kearney over her credibility. I don't dispute that I turned that report over as a matter of discovery. If this case ever develops in Middlesex and comes to fruition, I couldn't possibly dispute that. That's the absolute factual truth. From that point on, it becomes a pure question of law as to whether I breached some sort of duty under the statute to Ms. Kearney under the mistaken belief that I had a Rule 14 obligation to turn this over as the statement of a witness who had testified against Mr. Kearney in another matter, and as bearing on her credibility and her possible bias. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I was wrong legally, but that's not a matter of discrediting her. That's a matter that is purely a question of law. And it's also not a matter.
How do we avoid
here?
the circumstance?
Somebody's asking what he's saying, but I thought it was one of his
there's some
better
relevant
points.
testimony that you can offer. You wouldn't call her, but the defense calls her. And you're in the midst of cross-examining her, and she says, well, this is why I sued you. What do we do with that?
Look at Baker.
I'm not sure what you do with it, Your Honor.
You've been
my album has
practicing law for 57 years, and you don't know what to do with it.
He doesn't got a good answer for it. It's a great question. I mean, it's why he should be recused.
Been a
Federer
judge.
with everything right there. Federer with the.
Yeah.
Talking about
I
Baker.
wouldn't know. They just play stupid over there, and unless they need to be smart, and then they're like, "Oh, well, I'm this, that, and the other." But every other time somebody asks them a question, they can't answer it.
There is a point up here where I think Causey's right, and there's a couple issues here on the other side, I think.
Yeah, and not once did he get interrupted while he was speaking.
You're going to interrupt a 470-year-old man?
Yeah, he interrupted Better 35 times.
I know, but Better was like 400 years younger than him.
He's hoping Causey.
I don't know. I almost think they're like, I can't, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to let him get through it.
I don't want to make him talk longer.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, let's let him finish.
If I interrupt him, I'm just adding to it. You know, I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Reset.
He reserved stuff to say.
Getting back to what I was saying. You're wrong. And just, it's going to take another 5 minutes just to get there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Maybe we deal with that with a motion in limine to preclude her from mentioning the Middlesex suit.
Doesn't sound like a terribly controllable witness.
Oh, is that more?
That's why
Trying to control the lawyers.
Superior Court judges, Your Honor, if I could
If you can find one, that's
be a little obviously self-serving in my comment. I'm sure Your Honor, both in his prior career, as I have in mine, and in your present position, has dealt with witnesses that are difficult to control.
What about the possibility of someone else coming in? Is that something that's realistic or not realistic?
I didn't quite hear you. Something else?
What about the possibility of bringing someone in to deal with Ms. Gaetano if indeed she's a witness?
It's Gattoni, sir.
Be done?
Well, it would solve a lot of issues. Mr. Bedrow? I mean, you're not contending that the case goes away completely. You're contending that he can't deal with Gaetano.
Unless, Your Honor, I understand what Your Honor is saying, and it sounds at first blush that the idea that if there's some kind of ethical screen, for lack of a better term, that just keeps a separate wall between Mr. Cosgrove and Ms. Gaetani. But if the issue of the lawsuit comes out in any way, whether it goes...
Well, if he's not the one asking the question, I'd be hard-pressed to figure out why the issue of the lawsuit would come out.
could. Again, I don't know.
But that is my job to control what comes out. But so
Yes.
Legally, let's think about it not from a witness point of view, but from a legal point of view. If Mr. Cosgrove's not the one examining the witness, I preclude that evidence because it's really not very relevant. I think we all agree.
Your Honor, I mean, look, it's certainly not for me to suggest what could happen. It's for the court to rule and the prosecutors to figure it out. I guess the first question is, why are we having this conversation and why haven't they done that? Why is this a one-man show when this is a serious issue that there could be peril?
Well, that's why we're having this conversation.
Right.
Ahead of time, as you properly noted.
The other thing, if I could just respond briefly, I don't know if Mr. Cosgrove.
I think he's not done yet. I just was raising that one point.
I'll hold it.
Cosgrove has barely started, but go ahead.
All right. So it would appear to me what you're saying to me is if there was a replacement for that issue, that would resolve this problem.
I don't know that it would. It's certainly a much more realistic situation where you could avoid, no question, having Mr. Cosgrove comment on the credibility of Ms. Gaetani.
You'd agree with me that does happen in trials, not with some frequency, but it's not unheard of for that to happen.
No, it's not unheard of at all. I mean, there are times, again, where you have a prosecutor who takes a statement of a defendant.
Sure.
They have to be a witness, these kinds of things can happen all the time.
We find ways around them.
But we're also, to be clear, we're dealing with a very rare situation where the witness is a former prosecution witness accusing the prosecutor who she testified for previously of misconduct. Now, if the prosecution and the court approves of that process, wants to have that laid bare, then I suppose it could. But the other problem,
just on this issue, we're not going to hijack the rest of the argument.
Okay,
just on the issue of replacement.
I had a brief response.
Yeah, he's not done. You only get to respond when he's done.
Yes.
Mr. Cosgrove.
Well, just on that point, I have yet to hear how any comment that I might make on the credibility of Ms. Gaetani's testimony in the case before the court would even come in or be relevant in the Middlesex case or assist me in any way. Am I going to go over to Middlesex Superior Court and, frankly, I find it hard to believe that I or whoever would be representing me would be brazen enough to say to the judge, well, I want to talk about all the ways in which my client, Mr. Cosgrove, impeached Ms. Gaetani in a case that has nothing whatsoever to do with the case before the court. There's just not going to be any bleed through whatsoever, it seems to me. We don't even have, frankly, Ms. Gaetani's now at the point, based on her public statements, where she has faced in so many different directions, that I find it a little difficult to believe that either the Commonwealth or the defense is going to call her.
He would have called her if she would have stayed on his side in a fucking heartbeat.
100%.
Yeah, he would have called her in a fucking heartbeat. Oh, she's the most credible person in the world. Don't watch any of her online stuff.
She's an abused witness.
It's crazy.
This case, Mr. Counsel has
Ozzy, Jesus.
Carefully
heard
said
of
we may
Ricola?
call her for the defense. This may be a contingency that doesn't even arise, but that's sort of a side point. Let me just take a couple of points. I was going to ask Your Honor to take judicial notice of the pleadings in the Middlesex case and the docket. It appears you've effectively done that, but let me make an oral motion on the record.
Any objection comes? No.
Purpose.
Okay. Agreement. I'll take those as judicial notice as to the Worcester Superior Court case.
And one of the interesting, unique things about this alleged conflict of interest, which is a little different from the typical conflict of interest case. At least I haven't found anything precisely on point, and I don't think the defense has either, but maybe they'll prove me wrong in a moment. Is the whole operation by which this alleged conflict has come about and the Middlesex case has come about. What is it that enables Ms. Kearney to make the claim that she's seeking to make against me in the Middlesex case? It's that defendant took the report I gave him as discovery, or I gave his counsel as discovery in the other case, publicized it, and then created the harm that Ms. Kearney alleges accrued to her from that publication. In other words, if we're applying but-for causation, to sound like a tort lawyer for a minute, if we take Mr. Kearney's actions out of the whole proceeding, there's no harm whatsoever to Ms. Kearney with my, as I see it, fulfilling my Rule 14 obligation. So Your Honor has the unusual situation here of a defendant who has been but for cause of the alleged conflict, seeking to profit from that conflict by removing the prosecutor of his case, which I think is worth some consideration by the court. What I would like to do now, Your Honor, since the defendant has had the opportunity for a reply brief, which frankly doesn't particularly go to these motions, particularly, but more to the point, the defendant's reply in support of the motion to disqualify Robert Cosgrove. I'd like to examine that in some detail and take the opportunity to reply to some of his.
Well, it really hasn't become an issue here. That involves another party whose case has been dismissed. The case regarding the defendant and that witness is gone. That's dismissed. So I don't really know if that's all that relevant to any. Mr. Beddoe didn't even raise it.
For purposes of this, Your Honor, the briefs are what they are. We submitted them. I just raised the issues I thought would be helpful for the court today.
Yeah, I didn't find that anything with regard to that particular trooper terribly compelling because I don't understand how he would be part of this case. Fair to say?
You're talking about which trooper?
The trooper whose case was dismissed, Bouchard.
I'm not talking about the. I'm sorry for interrupting, Your Honor. I'm not talking about the motion that they filed with respect to discovery for Mr. Proctor.
Oh, I'm not dealing with discovery right now. Yeah.
I'm talking about the motion that's captioned, "Sir, reply in support of motion to disqualify Robert Cosgrove."
Paper 127 you're talking about.
I don't know the number, to be honest with you, but
this one here?
yes,
Yep,
exactly.
that's 127.
Okay.
Okay, go on, I'll hear you.
All right. So, the defense begins by complaining that my response envisions my conflict in a vacuum, and that it ignores the whole context, which is basically a preface, Your Honor, for talking about everything else that the defense is unhappy with about the case, except issues that are relevant to whether or not I should be disqualified. There is, on page 1 of that motion, a suggestion that Mr. Morrissey recused his office from prosecuting Mr. Kearney due to a conflict created by an investigating journalist who publicly accused the DA's office. I'm not sure that Mr. Morrissey has made a statement explaining why he appointed a special prosecutor, but I'm ready to stand to be corrected, but certainly this is the explanation that might sound most favorable to the defendant. But what does it have to do with disqualifying me? He then talks about accusations against Lieutenant Tully and former Trooper Proctor and Sergeant Yuri Buchanan. What does that have to do with disqualifying me? He talks about actions by Sergeant Buchanan taken after he left the Norfolk District Attorney's Office in support of a legal civil dispute between Ms. Reed and the alleged victims in this case. That has nothing to do with whether I should be disqualified. We've talked about my voluntary withdrawal from the indictments concerning Ms. Gattani. And if Your Honor would take a look at page 6, where we have bullet points. All right? The first bullet point is absolutely relevant, and that's what we've talked about, that I'm being sued for intentional misconduct by Ms. Gattani. And we hear that Lieutenant Tully is being sued by Ms. Gattani. So what? The Detective Tully has been sued by Karen Reed. What's that got to do with the price of beans, as they say? That there were disciplinary proceedings against Lieutenant Tully.
That might be relevant.
Because they all hang out together? I don't know. 'Cause, you know, just
That was my
'cause
favorite
I'm little.
of today.
Why would that
But
matter?
I think he does have a point with all, like, why mention them, all that stuff in the motion to recuse? He does make a point. I mean, you gotta, you know.
Yeah. I think they were just throwing some spaghetti against the wall.
Yeah, but like judges hate that shit.
It's the conspiracy angle that they're going at from basically setting TV up on
I kind of
Christmas
feel
Eve.
like
Well, yeah, but you
might
gotta
deserve it.
stick to
It's
Gattani,
not a
the
good argument for the
conflict,
judge.
recusal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't want to read 100 pages. Like, what am I looking at? Like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this judge for sure doesn't like the wordy stuff.
right.
He wants it like
Definitely.
dry.
This
But we
judge
learned
isn't that wordy.
He wants it streamlined and he wants it in the correct format.
And he wants motions.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ, I can't believe they didn't file a motion.
You should have sent everybody to the fucking house.
Well, I mean, that's kind of been like the anti's whole argument about Bettero from the get-go is the Bettero letters. The Bettero letters. He never puts it in legal format.
Well, I mean, the
Like,
letters, I mean, they do it a lot more in New York to put people on notice, to let
like
them
a
know
common a
this is
courtesy
what we're
among.
thinking, right?
Yeah.
They're not legal, you know what I mean? So I get why he does that, but like Bradel's not a Massachusetts guy. Like he works out in New York. Things are totally different. It's Bradel's job to be like, hey, let me look at this fucking motion
Filing,
before you
yeah.
e-file it, dude. He's like, I
Right.
should have did. Dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He did that in he did something similar like
Kelsey.
that in Kelsey's case. Then.
Yeah. Y'all all
Um,
know I'm not a big fan of Bradel, and I'm like one of the few. So
Yeah.
that stuff really bothers me when I hear stuff like that happen.
I think he's a good lawyer, but like between the Kelsey thing and then this thing, like, what do you
I
have too
feel
much
like
going on? You
he
know?
got in over his head with a lot of high profile cases, and he's not really rising up to it, in my opinion.
Well, none of the judges like him already, that's for sure.
Also,
he's
as
guilty by association.
I took one selfie today. That's what Bettero. People are pissed about it.
All right, let's get back into this little thing. So
You
we
got a
can
hard little handshake, that little fucker.
probably does.
He does.
Oh, yeah, it might have some relevance on cross, but what has it to do with disqualifying me, Your Honor? They weren't disciplinary proceedings against me. We hear that Ms. Reed is suing Sergeant Buchanan. Well, good luck to Ms. Reed, but what has it to do to disqualifying me in this case? We hear that Buchanan was disciplined, that Proctor's been sued by Ms. Reed, that Proctor has had disparaging text about Ms. Reed. There are two things that the upcoming case should not be about, Your Honor, and I'm sorry I'm losing my voice here, excuse me. One, it should not be a trial of the case that has been null pros concerning Ms. Gattani. And two, it should not be a retrial of the Karen Reed case. None of this stuff is relevant. Gattani's testimony will undermine the credibility of Detective Lieutenant Tully and Ms. McCabe, which will subject her to cross-examination by Mr. Cosgrove. Well, let's look specifically, if I can skip ahead in the memorandum. The argument that's been made a little later on in the memorandum, in which Your Honor has heard again today. And I'm looking now at page 16, Your Honor, the first full paragraph. Ms. Gattani will testify that Detective Lieutenant Tully intentionally mishandled her cell phone by tampering with and/or deleting its contents. Detective Lieutenant Tully will deny this. Mr. Cosgrove has accepted Detective Lieutenant Tully's explanation without any further investigation. Well, I don't know how the defense knows that I've accepted Detective Lieutenant Tully's explanation without any further investigation. So let's put this on a timeline. It has been the contention of the defense from the start of the case that certain items were missing from the download of Ms. Gattani's cell phone. And their explanation is that must be because Detective Lieutenant Tully deleted it. I responded to that. Ms. Gattani is a latecomer to this discussion. She is only now, in the form of either public statements or representations by the defense as to her new position, suggested that this is because Detective Lieutenant Tully tampered with it or deleted its contents. By the way, I don't know how she would know that because she was not there during the download of her cell phone and the transfer of it. But at any rate, my response as to what happened to the cell phone occurred before Ms. Gattani made any of these statements whatsoever. I don't know how it can be that I have been siding with Detective Lieutenant Tully over Ms. Gattani. I haven't seen an affidavit from Ms. Gattani. I haven't seen anything from Ms. Gattani other than hearsay, which is just a representation. And certainly, but let's assume that I do, as they put it, side with Detective Lieutenant Tully in cross-examining Ms. Gattani and in the closing argument. What does that have to do with defending my position in the Middlesex case, and how is it relevant, and how would it even be introduced? I have no idea. Let me back up and make a couple of...
Well, there's your confetti.
What about if she has an excited utterance? Starts yelling shit out in front of the jury. I'm suing this fucking asshole, you know.
You know,
We'll worry about that.
No, she's not, Your Honor. Like, I mean, things happen.
They'll deal with that when it happens, but until then, nobody knows what to do.
They're trying to say to do a motion in limine.
Come on,
Betty.
Of course, they're gonna do it.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen.
Kazi, there's your sister. I found her.
She's a disgrace to our family.
Does it not bother y'all, though, that while he's sitting there arguing the position on Tully, that he never admits that information is missing from the download, from the forensic download? Are we just going to, like, scathe over that? Like, could have been Tully, could have been Garrido.
Doesn't he mention that? And he's like,
they're not arguing that though.
I mean, he's talking about it right now about they're trying to say it's Tully's fault. How does she know Tully did it? It could have been one of the other corrupt state troopers, you know? But we're not talking about the obvious.
These people
that
are
it's
obviously
missing.
going to twist themselves into pretzels to just, you know what I mean? If we've seen how many judges, I mean, I got a big problem with this, like a little later, like a huge problem with what he says, but you know.
All right, well, y'all have all seen it. I haven't, so let's
Oh, that's
watch
what I'm saying. That's why I wait.
I haven't seen this far. This is new for me.
And has anybody seen April? Haven't seen her in the
Have not
Discord.
seen the
or-
stupid one. No.
Huh. Man, put out the stupid bat
A
signal.
couple of other points.
Summon her.
I want to turn to the legal argument, say a little bit about the law. And I suspect Your Honor has probably already looked at the two cases cited by Mr. Betterow, Commonwealth versus Dunlap, and the other case is named USB Health, which involves a complicated civil action involving the Church of Scientology and others. The first thing to say about these cases is they're Pennsylvania cases, not Massachusetts cases. So at best, I would say they are persuasive authority, not binding authority.
I don't think Mr. Betterow contests otherwise.
The second thing I would say is that they are both opinions in which the court declined to rule for the defense on the conflict of interest argument. In the first case, Dunlap, the decision of the Superior Court judge was affirmed by an equally divided court. The dissenting justices characterized the other side as the majority, but the opinion itself says that the appellate court was equally divided. So I'm not sure if it's even good as a dicta. It seems to me it has no precedential value at all, but if it does have precedential value, it was a ruling in favor of the Commonwealth. And what were the facts? In a sentence from the dissent, that is, those who believe there was a conflict of interest, the district attorney who prosecuted this case also represented the victim in a civil suit arising out of the same transaction. That is a mile away. That is a stadium away. That is a continent away from the facts in this case. I am certainly not representing Ms. Catani in a civil suit arising out of the events that bring the defendant into court. Now let's take a look at USB Health, Health, I guess it is, which is the federal case. That does have some interesting parallels to this case. According to the decision, and I apologize for not having the pin sites, but I think Your Honor will readily find them, the defendants contended on appeal that they were denied due process because two prosecutors were defendants in a civil action filed by the Church of Scientology 10 days after the events that went down in this particular case. And they alleged, and the events that went down were a search of the Scientology's office in Los Angeles, and they alleged that the raids were conducted in bad faith with the intention of violating Scientology's constitutional rights. You can look back at the memos filed by the defense.
So now we're going to the Scientologists for our fucking.
Well, he gets his case law wrong. He gets his interpretation of what the
You could have come up with better case law than the Scientologists.
He didn't. He didn't. This is
Betterow's case law, though, right?
Yeah, it's Betterow's case law, but Costco gets all of this wrong.
But that's just like saying, as a lawyer here, I'm going to pick this one because these people are crazy, just like you people.
No, but
there's 15 other cases I probably could have dropped in here. That's like
this is
Thompson,
in response
Johnson, but nah, let's do the Scientologists.
No, this is in response to Betterow's citation of cases.
I know. I'm saying from Betterow's perspective.
Oh,
it's like I just fucking with them, like what smart people do. It's like you people are nuts, like these fucking Scientologists.
Oh
so,
no,
I didn't put the Johnson case in here. Put the fucking Scientology case in here.
Completely fucked it up.
That's my case law.
The problem with it's a Pennsylvania case, so it doesn't have relevance. It does. Case law.
Like Judge Bev said, is that a Massachusetts case, Mr. Jackson?
Nope.
And the contention they're trying to make, well, one of them is that this is a bad faith prosecution. So that applies here. What is different here is the civil suit apparently precedes the raid that the prosecutors make in the defense office of the Church of Scientology. Here, there's nothing like that.
The events that the defendant was charged with in this case occur before any involvement by Ms. Gattani, before any involvement by that matter with me. And those issues are pretty well set and they have consistently been followed through. Now, here's another similarity between Height and the current case. I'll just read a sentence or two. The government contends that prosecutors cannot be disqualified when sued by a defendant because defendants could then remove whichever prosecutor they please simply by suing him. Now, of course, the defendant isn't actually suing me here. He's simply seeking to profit from a witness suing me. But certainly a suit by the defendant would be a much more direct potential conflict. I have not gone so far as to represent to the court that I cannot be disqualified when sued by a defendant or by Ms. Gattani. I think in fairness, the court can look at it. But the federal court, the argument was that any suit complaining of an action taken in a prosecutor's quasi-judicial capacity would be frivolous and non-disqualifying because he enjoys absolute immunity as a prosecutor, cite to a U.S. Supreme Court case. I believe as Your Honor reads through, we'll find that the court in Height pretty much bought that argument. And they go on to say that appellants have made no credible claim of actual prejudice based on the prosecutor's alleged pecuniary or personal interest in the outcome of this prosecution. I certainly have no pecuniary interest in the outcome of this prosecution. I have no personal interest in the outcome of this prosecution. And nothing in this prosecution is going to affect anything that's going on in Middlesex.
It's not Middlesex.
Worcester Superior Court, Your Honor.
Understood. Any further?
Cut it out, Crossy. God damn it.
No, I'll stop at that point, Your Honor.
Mr. Bedrock.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. We might as well start from the back with U.S. v. Health, Your Honor, which is 668 Federal 2nd, 1238, D.C. Circuit, 1981. Mr. Costro has buried the lead about Health and about Dunlop. Those were appellate arguments post-conviction. That is a huge distinction about a timely motion in advance, raising issues which could lead to a conflict. We all know that raising a conflict on appeal when you could have raised it before is looked at in an entirely different way. And the relevant language from Health that I would direct the court to is on page 1276, which states, given the need to promote the appearance of justice, a trial court on timely motion to wit, like here, should disqualify a prosecutor from participating in a criminal action when he has a personal conflicting interest in a civil case. That's here.
No, the key words are alleging bad faith. I'm not sure that there's an allegation in those other complaints of bad faith. There's an allegation he violated the statute. I'm not sure where it talks about bad faith.
Sued him for intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Negligent infliction. There's a difference.
She sued for intentional.
I read negligent, but I'll go on.
Respectfully, Your Honor, there are deliberate allegations of intentional misconduct in the complaint, but that's the court can obviously go back and one of us.
We took judicial notice.
Exactly. One of us is right.
I read this morning as negligent, but that's I could.
Dunlop is the same situation, Your Honor. It's post-conviction. The other issue, and I want to now go back to the beginning that Mr. Cosgrove started with. He illustrates the whole problem here. He's defending himself, and I have no opinion on the merits of Ms. Gattani's claim. Okay, as a lawyer, I sympathize, but he started by telling you that this case is going to get dismissed, and all I did was turn over this. He is illustrating front and center his personal interest that Gattani is accusing him of things he didn't do. And the conflict, the personal interest, isn't the outcome.
He's not accusing things he didn't do. He acknowledges doing it.
But he's justifying it and saying she's trying to do this. She's not credible. The point is this. The personal interest for Mr. Cosgrove is not whether he was wrongfully sued or whether it has any merit. His good name has been attacked. And like anyone else, he has an absolute right and a personal interest in defending himself. And again, the proper forum to do that is not while prosecuting a case in which his accuser is a witness, his co-defendant is a witness, and Ms. Gattani is going to probably impeach, assuming she's allowed to, their star witness, Ms. McCabe. When someone's integrity is attacked, they have a personal interest, especially someone as credentialed and respected as Mr. Cosgrove. We all understand that as lawyers and judges, but that doesn't mean you get to prosecute the case. That's for you to decide, obviously. And we're talking about an appearance. If this looks terrible, which leads to my next point. Mr. Cosgrove went through all of these allegations in our papers about, Proctor had this, Tully's been sanctioned, Buchanan, it's literally aligned with Jennifer McCabe, which we wrote about supporting her. Buchanan was a witness in this case too, and part of the investigation.
But not anymore.
No, but the point is this. He is looking at this in a vacuum. The public must have confidence. Part of the analysis of a conflict of interest is the first sentence of the brief that he just cited from, is that the public must have confidence in the criminal justice system. And this latest conflict is a pile on conflict after conflict after conflict in this case. And if the cherry on the sundae...
But let me slow you down, because we're conflating two different issues. I'll agree with you. There's all sorts of issues that have developed over the course of these interrelated prosecutions. Mr. Cosgrove's role, though, is a latecomer and really had nothing to do with any of these other issues. So I can't sit and say I impute all of those other things to Mr. Cosgrove. And therefore, if we look at that massive problems that have developed, he's out. Because the same logic would say the next person who sits in that seat, the same argument would apply.
Let me be very clear. I'm not accusing.
I didn't take it that you were.
Fair enough.
But my point is, all of those things are conditions which are already present in this prosecution.
They are.
So really the only thing that I'm dealing with is this one issue, because the rest of those things he had nothing to do with.
But one of them, he had his other conflict, which he voluntarily sought.
But that came out of the same exact issue.
Yes. Well, that's our point. We think it's the same conflict.
I agree with you. But the point I'm trying to draw, and the distinction is, all of these other problems that arose out of the Reed prosecution, real, imagined, substantial, that's really not for me to decide, right? They're all out there, all right? And they're all going to be there no matter what. So whoever sits in that chair right there is going to have all those problems.
The difference, I don't mean to cut you off, Your Honor. The difference is that if it's not Mr. Cosgrove, the man or woman who would be sitting in that chair is not being sued by Ms. Gaetani and co-defendants.
That's my point. That's the only thing I have to analyze at that point.
Our point, respectfully, was that given the public's need for confidence, in this case, not the Karen Reed case, that's a whole other conversation for someone else on another day. But this case is filled with conflicts, and I don't think we can all just avert our eyes to and say, but none of that matters, but we're going to have a prosecutor now cross-examine his accuser and then say she's not credible. He also indicated, Your Honor, they're not even committing calling Ms. Gaetani. I can't fathom how that might happen. They use careful language. They may call her. We're the defense. We don't have to do anything. We can take a nap throughout this trial. And there may be such a terrible joke of a case they present that we stand up and rest. So, of course, why would any credible, serious lawyer commit a year in advance? I'm calling this witness. We're alerting Mr. Cosgrove to what we think is his conflict in the court, and we may very well do that. The last point for this, he said there's no affidavit from Ms. Gaetani, or it's all just hearsay about, tampering with her phone. The best basis for that will be the posting online social media by a third party and longtime known critic of Mr. Kearney of messages which did not appear on an extraction report that we got from Tully of Gaetani's phone, and then we never got anything from Tully's phone. We got screenshots of what he claimed were messages. That's the basis for that. Thank you.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so here's what we'll do. I'm going to set another date. Let me talk about this. Mr. Brady, when we penciled in the trial date, I gave you a very long date, longer than I wanted. Your schedule, has it changed? Can we get this thing done earlier? Assuming it's alive?
It's probably gotten worse.
All right, well, we're not moving the case back. The trial date's not going to go backwards.
Okay.
Now, this is a 2023 case. It's 2026. It's not going backwards. If anything, it's going to move forward. So don't.
I know you'll relate to this, Judge. I have the usual.
Says the guy who's about to set it off for more time.
It should be over today.
Because he couldn't take the time to get caught up. Did you get caught up? No. Nope.
Yeah, it's like there were certain parts of this case that he just seemed to know so much about, and then the rest of it, he just seemed so clueless about. It's like, what did he go down? Did he hyper focus on just one part, on the Lindsay part, and that's it?
He didn't make it all the way through. That's for sure.
No.
So we've been sitting here
Definitely
since December waiting on this, and he's like, okay, we're not going backwards with this. We're going to come back in a month and a half and
let's pick a date.
Do this again. Hey, how about we meet here a month and a half and pick another date?
Yeah, Tom's CPU was sitting right in front of me, and we were he was writing me notes and shit. At one point, we thought he was going to recuse him when he started, when Cosgrove didn't have answers to questions and shit. And I'm like, just wait, don't get excited.
Yeah.
I knew it. I fucking knew it was coming. All right, so let's pick a date. I'm like, yeah, there we go.
Yep, there it goes. There goes that can.
Yep.
Yeah, right on down the road.
I'm going to take this under advisement.
It's set. So I was going to try to move you forward, but if you tell me that can't happen, then that can't happen.
I'm sorry.
All right, but understood. This court is willing to take this case much faster than the current schedule.
We do have a few other pretrial matters to address. Your Honor mentioned the motion to dismiss. Maybe we should schedule that.
What we're going to do is this. I'm going to take this under advisement. We're going to pick a date right now. And either we do a motion to dismiss that day or we're on for appearance of new counsel that day. All right, one or the other. We're going to know. I'll get your decision beforehand. Now, I am open to the idea that if I accept there's a conflict here, I haven't made that determination yet, but if I accept there's a conflict, I'm open to the idea that it's resolvable by having someone else step in and cross-examine. I think that solves all of the issues. So that might be the easy way here, so everybody can get this thing moving and have this trial, which all parties seem
Tip
to
in his
desire.
hand.
So just on that point, I appreciate you kind of reflecting your thought process. But, you know, even if counsel stays on the case, but doesn't actually do the questioning, it still remains that there's a conflicted counsel on the case, and the jury ought to know
you and I both know
that
that
interest.
Mr. Brett, you and I both know this happens with some frequency, and we work our way around. All right, the jury's concentration in this case is on the events of the case. Now, Ms. McCabe's credibility, I expect to be a robust cross-examination based on all the information that you've gathered.
Oh my God, it's the same shit. What's his name said? I expect a robust cross-examination.
Yeah, Bev, yeah.
That's what Bev said.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, but he did say, I expect it to be a robust. He knows what's up.
Yeah. But there shouldn't be one because there shouldn't have to be a trial. I mean, the trial will be interesting, yes. But
This is like, I mean, the recusal thing is odd, but like, other than that, this is what judges do, man. I mean,
yeah.
fucking, you know, if they're, you know, like, that's
The
why
case
it's
is
so
stupid,
rare for Karen Reed to get a not guilty. I mean, that's just an aberration. And people kind of, I don't know, but also like trials that we watch, how many, well, I mean, with the exception of Richard Allen, right? In which you didn't see the trial, but we know what happened. How many other trials, you know, a defendant's just being super guilty and
yeah, juries are stupid.
and
Juries
having good defenses or maybe not so good defenses, just horrible facts, you know?
Yeah, and it's just juries that have no idea what's going on and don't know the law, and it's frustrating. They're stupid. A judge should know that.
The thing that sucks about this case is he got indicted. Like, you know what I mean? It's just,
yeah,
that's the bar you got to pass, and then they're like, all right, we're taking it to the mat, and like crazy shit has to happen in the meantime.
I just thought he sounded a whole lot like Auntie Bev right there.
Yeah.
But the
Using
indictment
her
was
words.
scummy. And that's part of the argument is the indictment itself was sleazy.
I know, but that has nothing to do with recusal. I would say it
But no,
goes to the.
because Cosgrove wasn't the one doing the arguing. That was Mello. It's like it's just a crazy saga for one person to try to wrap their head
Believe
around.
me, I know, but that comes in like a different motion. That's not being argued. And we see how these Massachusetts people are. You gotta argue this. You gotta have a motion for this. You're gonna do exactly that. You can't put any other bullshit in there. I mean, I feel like Bradel could have done better here.
All right, let's finish this.
It's appropriate to bring in an extrinsic witness, and generally, as you're well aware, it's not. If it's appropriate to have an extrinsic witness on that issue, then we'll take that as we go. But Mr. Cosgrove raises a reasonably good point that, you know, there's been some recent case law talking about, you know, the police can't create their own exigency. And to some extent, the defendant has created his own exigency here. Because, in fact, the plaintiff in that case is suing because the contents of her phone were put on the internet. The defendant did that. So there is some, you know, you got to be fair to both sides here and say this is something which only happened because of steps taken by the defendant.
Well, Judge, I don't want our lack of response to that to be perceived as an acknowledgement. I don't want to address that.
I'm basing that simply on what I read in her complaint. Not anything's been represented me today.
Right, exactly. And so just a couple of rewinds here, judges, that the government themselves, in Lieutenant Tully's own affidavit at the time of this, back in December of 23, swore in the affidavit that Ms. Gattani was a witness in the matter. And so I don't think the government can do a 180 and say, oh, she's not really a witness.
Well, she's a witness, but she was a witness. At that point, they were trying to indict your client for some sort of conspiracy charge, which failed.
Right.
All right, and
the grand jury didn't live and under investigation.
That's another matter. I've told you I have no authority to affect that. What I do know is that was no prost, no build.
No build.
Even worse. Okay, that was no build. So I can't imagine a circumstance where I would allow evidence in about a no build issue. I remain to be persuaded on that. But
so what? And just to go to the lowest hanging fruit on why Ms. Gattani would be a witness, there's all sorts of screenshots and text messages, and we need these things authenticated before we use them.
I'm not necessarily saying that can't happen.
There's all sorts of reasons.
I get that, but
no one's trying to trigger a recusal. There's a lot of good reasons why she's involved in this. The government's own affidavit.
I'm not discrediting what you're saying. What I'm saying to you is, I think there's a way around this. And I don't know that the closing argument is going to change that, because the closing argument is based on what's heard at the trial and, I'd add, in this court's view, and in the proper practice would be confined strictly to the evidence that's presented before the court. So, no, it's not going to.
I appreciate your reflections, Judge. If I could just have one moment.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's all we have. And just
let's pick a date.
are you, late February, March, okay? Early March? What would you like tomorrow?
Let's go later in March.
All right. March 27th?
Is that Friday? Friday's generally best.
I can do that. It is a Friday.
Do it on Friday.
Thank you.
I don't know if we'll be in this room. I'll have to consult with the occupant who has generously lent me this room today.
I want to say one other thing, if I could, Your Honor. I am concerned that the protective orders that have been issued by the court have been the subject of violations. I'm not prepared to address it today, but I want to put the defense and the court on notice that I do think there's a basis for that argument, and I will plan on raising it at the next hearing.
Well, raise it first with the other side so that they're aware of your concerns.
I will, of course.
All right. If it's not resolvable, then the court will step in.
Does anybody know what that's about?
We're not gonna know. He couldn't get an answer for anything in. When's he gonna get this in?
X. I mean, surely there's talk about what violation he's done now with the witnesses. What? Anybody have any thoughts?
I'm sure they do, but we're gonna finish this. Yes, I'm ready to get this over with.
Undermining the protective orders.
I think it's almost over with.
Again, the way this court looks at this is that this is an important First Amendment issue, which should be decided by a jury of the defendant's peers to decide the mores of our society, whether or not this is journalistic activity or it's not journalistic activity. Let's try to focus on that, folks.
I absolutely agree with that, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Anything else we can do today?
No, sir.
March 27th. The purpose of that hearing to be determined, but could be one of those two things.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor.
Both matters continued to March 27th, time 7.
All right, please. Get into the court one at a time, please. Thank you.
Free Turtle Boy, free Turtle Boy, free Turtle Boy.
Look how good we are at following instructions.
Darn.
So we've got the post-hearing interview, which I saw earlier, which was good, I thought. But just, can we do a hypothetical, play this out? If I mean, we obviously don't want this to go to trial. The big win is for him not to have to pay attorneys and go to a trial.
Right.
If it goes to trial, though, Turtle Boy's made it very clear he's going to testify.
Yeah.
So you're looking at Cosgrove prosecuting.
Yeah.
You're looking at Jen McCabe as their star witness. And you're looking at Turtle Boy on the stand to defend what he's done.
I don't know, man.
I still feel very confident that 12 jurors are going to see this for what it is.
They're stupid though, and you know they're not going to explain to them what the real law is. They're not going to. I don't trust juries.
I don't trust juries. I don't trust juries. I've gone through it. I've seen them vote on emotion and not the law.
Well, maybe he wants a bench trial then. But
Ooh, no.
No, he's made it very clear
so
he doesn't want a bench trial.
Do you remember how scared we were for that girl when Bev did that bench trial, and we were all
Penny McGee, and she acquitted her on, from the bench.
Yeah, but Turtle Boy didn't want a jury trial after interviewing Ronnie, but then after having Krupp, he didn't want a bench trial. So I mean, he seems very confident in a jury trial now.
Pick your poison, it's a tough call. I mean, you gotta live and die by the sword like that. But the biggest problem I have with the judges is amendment issues aren't meant for jury trials, dude. Amendments protect citizens from governmental overreach and corruption and stuff like that, right?
He's trying to say it's not an amendment issue.
Well,
which is sad.
Well, okay, so let's bring up and listen, we can go, and that's what they're going to have to. Was there any threats? Was there any physical threats? I would say no.
But the Massachusetts crazy law is what has us in this position. Because
I know,
but feel a certain way.
If we're just talking, if the judge says it's about a First Amendment issue, and the jury's gonna have to figure whether or not it is. I mean, so what I'm saying is, if there's no physical threats and there's no fighting words, and it's just YouTube presentations, a rolling rally, and
Right.
assault on a window.
But emotional harm is in y'all statute in that state.
I know
That's
that's
their
the
argument.
statute. I'm not talking about the statute, the
But
laws. I'm
that's the
talking
current
about
law.
amendments. But if he's going to bring it up, he should be like, well, maybe laws have been broken here, and he has to answer for that. And that's how jury trials answer that question. You know what I mean? Nobody gets it's a First Amendment. If it's, I don't know. It's just it didn't sound right. It didn't sit well with me. You're gonna let juries start to figure out amendment issues. That's not what they were put there for. That's what I'm saying.
No, the fucking founding fathers would roll over in their grave. They saw some of this shit.
Well, they
Especially
obviously wouldn't have
if they could
passed.
see how all of these attorneys are ruling politics, because they specifically didn't want attorneys to be politicians. So they fucked that up. Oh, we want to do it, so let's just throw out that amendment. It ain't no big deal. Nobody looked. Now politics makes you rich. So does being a judge.
And powerful.
Being a corporation makes you rich. I mean, well, actually wealthy. You know, being one of these other people.
Exactly my point.
Makes
And then
you rich.
wealth makes you powerful.
Yeah, which is, I mean, we all know the corporations like are, you know, more powerful than anybody. But judges are.
Why do we have to wait to see what the next date is going to be about, whether it's dismissal or?
That I didn't understand that part either. He's like, the subject will be determined. I'm like,
Well,
how do you set a date for something TBD?
No, it's going to be one of two things. It's going to be either he's deciding to pick another prosecutor, or they're doing pretrial stuff for the upcoming trial. One or the other.
why is it not the motion to dismiss?
I thought it was the motion to dismiss.
Was it the motion to dismiss?
I think it's the motion to dismiss.
Well, no,
I thought that has to be the fallback if it's not.
It's either the motion to dismiss or it's the motion. Fuck.
You might be right. I can't remember what he said. I'll have to.
Yeah, it was definitely the motion to dismiss. It was either Cosgrove's gone, they got to find someone new, or motion to dismiss.
Or motion to dismiss.
Is the judge deciding on Cosgrove?
Well, if the judge decides to put Cosgrove out, wouldn't the motion to dismiss make sense then?
Well, yeah, it's one or the other. Like, so
It needs to be both.
They can put Cosgrove out, and then they can give like another 90 days to appoint another special prosecutor before the motion to dismiss has to be heard.
I mean, the judge said it, and I'm pretty sure that's what he said, right? He didn't say it that far back either, so I'd have to listen to it again. But
No, he did say that.
the way I remember it,
Yeah.
I thought he just said pre-trial they'll be doing, but again,
He said that the subject was to be determined, was what he said, which didn't make sense to me.
well, the subject is still to be determined because it could be two
He
different
didn't rule
things.
on this yet.
Right.
But it has to either be the ruling on this,
Right, it's
or
yet to be
he said
determined.
Cosgrove stays on. Now we're going to talk about the motion to dismiss.
He's taken it under advisement. He hasn't made a decision on the recusal yet. It's going to be one or the other.
Right, but if
It's
he
yet to be determined. The minute he makes that decision, we'll make that.
Oh, he's already made that decision. You didn't hear him?
Well, I mean, you know,
He's already
they
made
take it under advice, like Beth.
And he already gave him the solution. Y'all weren't listening. He's not
he did
dismissing this
say that-
case, and somebody else is going to come in
But
and
judges, I've seen him do weird shit with it.
cross these
Stuff out
witnesses.
there
that are
like
up.
that.
He did say that Betterow could still file some stuff under impoundment to argue the connection between Lindsay and Jen
Waste of
McCabe
paper.
better as far as the timeline goes.
Waste of paper. 12 people are going to watch this shit and be like, oh, okay, this is stupid. How did it get this far?
I mean, listen, I agree, dude. It's like
Because all it
once
takes is one, not
once
12.
you pass the
It takes
indictment
one.
stage, it takes like an act of God to get shit done by a defendant. It just does. Man. It's like, especially in this Commonwealth, you know what I mean? Fucking state, crooked ass state.
Oh, there was
Okay,
something
so
else I
I
was
had a
gonna-
question for the locals during that hearing. Why does Cosgrove keep mistaking Worcester for Middlebrooks? Is it like Middlesex? I mean, is it like really
I
close?
have to, well, first of all, they're right next to each other.
Okay.
But second of all, he's probably sat on every bench in Massachusetts known to man because he's 400 years old. That's all I can think of. He's had so many cases in Middlesex, Worcester, Dukes County, Bristol County. He just doesn't even remember anymore. You know, who knows where he spent most of his time on the bench? You know what I mean? Maybe it was in Middlesex. He just kind of, you know, it's like muscle memory or something. You know, who knows? He's been around since like the late 1800s, so you never know.
But like, you know how
Good at kicking the can, that's for sure.
defendants have to, like, you know, be found competent to stand trial. At what point does the judge start questioning the prosecution's competency? You know, I've already corrected you once that it's Worcester, and you've said it 10 times now. Like,
Yeah,
he's-
it'll never come up. They'll just be like, ah, you old
You don't care.
bird.
As soon as Bedro starts talking, he interrupts him. He waits for Cosgrove to get done. He's like, "Sir, I apologize for interrupting."
It's so like
You didn't interrupt me. I was through. I was done.
I didn't have an answer for that question.
I wasn't answering you. I don't want to answer you right now, so I just choose not to.
I
Okay.
reserve my right to answer that question.
Yeah, I reserved to answer that question on the grounds it will recuse me.
All right.
He's a wild boy, Classy. I was going to try to meet him, but they took him down the back stairs with an escort.
Seriously?
Yeah. I saw
Was
him
it
come
like
out, and my eyes lit up, and I went over and then like two cops come up behind him. They took him down like the judge's entrance, like the exit. I'm like, I better not approach him. He might shoot me or something.
what were people telling you about your foot? What happened
Nothing.
to your
It
foot?
fell asleep for like 15 minutes in court today. Nothing wrong with my foot.
I thought you'd fallen or something had happened.
It's a bad rumor. No, because when I was sitting in there, I was sitting in between these two ladies, and you know, I'm a fat son of a bitch, right? So and they're like squished in there, and I'm like putting my hands like try to squinch up, and then that one girl left, and it freed me up. So
Did you go to the pizza place with them?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Glara's got some footage of that. I was gonna
I
go live,
saw
but my phone was almost dead from being out in the cold.
Yeah.
I
It's
saw a
quick.
live that he did that kind of started off like mid-sentence. Is that the live y'all are all talking about? A real short, or was there an actual long live done?
There was like he did like a 25-minute one when we were.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't see
started out
that.
with me staring into the camera.
Yeah, I haven't seen
That-
that yet then. I just saw a short where he was like in the middle of a sentence and it started.
Yeah,
And then
it was,
pictures of the pizza being served.
yeah, and everybody was cool. It was weird. Well, not weird. It was nice seeing everybody,
Yeah.
meeting everybody.
Somebody in the chat said something about TV's girl being very pretty. Was she at court today or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, she was there.
Okay.
she's already taken shit online. It's fucking.
I was just to say, I thought she was trying to stay out of the, you know, not be on camera, not be mentioned. So that was surprising to hear that she came to the hearing.
Well, I mean, she wants to support him, you know, like I don't really know where they are in a relationship or whatever. I don't ask.
But at the same time, with what's happened with 5150, if I were her, I'd be like, I'll see you after court, baby.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know, but
Yeah, I think the information was already out there, though.
yeah, I mean, these fucking people.
Yeah. You know,
Well,
you
is
know,
she a
they're like,
brunette?
huh?
Is she a brunette?
Yes.
She is, yeah.
He does like the brunettes.
I'm kind of a fan myself.
So the anti's already tearing her up online.
She was nice though. Mary, who was there was one woman there, or I don't know, woman, I guess I would call her, that was there in the whole thing. Like, she looked very serious. She was pretty, but like, she was all dressed up. I don't know who that was. I don't know.
Did she come to lunch?
No, she was in there in the morning. We were all in that room.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned her that like we thought she might be an anti, but I forget who it was, but somebody talked to her and she's just shy, but she's on our side.
Oh, okay. There's a bunch of people that I didn't,
Oh God, I can't like, and I feel so bad because everyone's just so kind and everything, but I also don't ask a lot of questions, so I don't really know who the people are that I'm talking to. I just talk to people.
A bunch of people came up to me, like some lady came up to me, like she's like, "Excuse me, Kasi, can you get into character, please?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah. I'm sorry."
That's what I was like, dance monkey.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's okay. I got no problem doing it. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." And a bailiff talked to me for like a half hour. He heard that I came from the Cape. He's like, "Where do you live on the Cape?" I'm like, "Falmouth." He's like, "I own a house in Falmouth." And I talked to him for like a half hour. He's real nice. There's a lot of nice people there.
How long of a trip in was that for you to get to the courthouse?
So the bus station's like 5 minutes up the street, and it's an hour and a half into South Station, and it's a 5-minute taxi ride from there. Super quick, easy.
Massachusetts just looks so small. I guess it's just because y'all's traffic and everything. It just seems like everything takes longer than what it looks like it would.
Well, yeah, I mean, like if you live in Texas or something, we're tiny. Like a 2.5 hour ride is like, I don't really want to do it. But like people that live in Texas drive 5 hours all the time and think nothing of it.
Okay, we can get across the whole top of our state in 3 hours, but it looks larger than y'all's state.
Are you in Louisiana as well?
I'm the only one in Louisiana. Danny's in Texas. I mean, Mississippi, sorry.
Oh, shit, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, and I'm not playing Glare Stream. I'm a member. I could play it, but I don't want to play the members only stuff.
Okay.
You'll have to check it out.
Well, you should play the interview that they did after the hearing. That was on Justice Served. I'm sure it's
It's
other
on a
places
bunch of
too.
channels, right?
Yeah, I posted mine, but like I forgot to film it, so
I didn't even bother. I'm like, look at how many people it takes.
it's gonna be on a lot of channels, yeah. But I did want to get a little bit of my own. I'm like a mile.
Yeah, I watched it on Justice Served, and there was a lot of really good questions, I thought.
I met that guy,
Michael Bryant?
Yeah, he's a really, really nice guy.
Yeah.
He had no idea who I was, and I wasn't going to tell him.
His filming is in the court.
Why they use Turtle Dove? They use your word.
They did call Turtle Boy Turtle Dove when he came on this evening.
Yes,
Sons of
both of
bitches.
them. Both of them.
That's
So
trademark.
they already know. They already
But
know who you
I wasn't watching my screen though. Did Turtle Boy have his name set as Turtle Dove or something to prompt that?
Mm-mm.
Because they both like on cue called him Turtle Dove.
Really?
Yeah.
Stop taking my words.
Everyone's a secret Kasi fan.
I know.
But
There was a lot of people that were like, some lady, I guess she's an older, she's an older woman, and she's also a specially appointed prosecutor, like in real life. And she's like, I love when you call him to the glare. I'm like, so many people were nice. Everybody, I didn't have one, like everybody was cool.
Yeah,
honestly, I think it's impressive how Glare can keep your title straight every time you call in, because it's a tongue twister for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially appointed prosecutor Robert Cosgrove. Like, he does it perfectly every
Yeah, I
time.
know.
I
Yeah,
would be stuttering over it.
Well, I mean, thank God he didn't hang up on me the first time I did it, because I figured he would.
You would not be on this panel now.
I wouldn't, yeah.
It was close. It was close, but he did.
Yeah, this is
All right, here we go.
Well, I got him to laugh.
I got your interview. Here we go.
It's really good.
Reaction to what you just went through there, guys.
Wait for the court to decide. We think it's a very strong application. We think there's a strong motion to dismiss also waiting in the wings if this one doesn't go our way. So we're pleased with today. We have a judge who's obviously very informed, very prepared, and we're confident in what the outcome will be, whether it's on this motion, the next one, or the final result.
It seemed like the judge was leaning toward just, keeping Cosgrove on the case, but having someone else handle the Lindsay situation, I guess. Is that something you would be open to? It sounds like maybe not.
We think there's a conflict that requires removal, but the judge wears the robe and decides. So what he decides will be.
Did you get a sense of where he was leaning? It seemed like he was taking a, sort of active approach, poking holes, not just in your argument, but in the Commonwealth's as well.
He was a hot bench. That happens from time to time. That's what lawyers deal with, and you deal with it. So I don't read into it one way or the other.
You seem to give some credit to a strong motion to dismiss, which of course we now at least have a date for. Thoughts on that?
It is a strong motion to dismiss, but first things first. We have to see if there's a prosecutor to even defend the motion to dismiss. If there is, then we'll come right back here at the end of March and argue why all the indictments should be dismissed. Absolutely. I think he's right.
It used to be just the appearance of impropriety was enough to have somebody step aside. Would you step aside if you were in his role?
If I were sued by a witness in a case I was prosecuting back when I was a prosecutor, I personally would take the exit ramp and get out of there. Yes.
So why is he fighting so hard to stay on this case?
That's for him to answer. I don't want to speculate. We have great personal respect for Mr. Cosgrove. It has nothing to do with the position that he's in because of, a witness's accusations towards him. But I would not even pretend to try to read his mind as to why he's doing what he's doing. That's a question only he can answer.
Do you think they would struggle to find someone else to join this case? Obviously, they couldn't find someone to prosecute the 24 case that they null-prosed.
Would you do it?
I'm not a lawyer.
If you were a lawyer, that's their problem. That's a them problem, not an us problem.
How do you like his response, Cosgrove's response, when comparing the case you conflicted out of with these cases? How is that different?
To us, it's a distinction without a difference. I think we made that point very clear in the written submissions and the oral argument today. He disagrees, as is his right. That's how litigation works. But for us, if you're being sued by a witness, you shouldn't be examining the witness and summing up on their credibility when that witness has testimony that could impeach other important witnesses. It's just, we don't think it's appropriate, but we don't decide either.
What's the case in Middlesex we keep hearing about?
I'm not sure.
There's probably one there too.
That was Will being a smartass. What a surprise.
Will, are we still in the chat, Will?
People will, probably remember.
Will and Scott are here, and I think they're still in the chat.
If they had heard, I know Scott stayed outside, and I didn't get a chance to say hi. Sorry, Scott,
but he's in our chat tonight. He's in our chat tonight. Yeah.
When I went outside, I was over the cold. I just wanted to get the hell out of there. And so during the course of Cosgrove's very eloquent argument, he kept talking about this Middlesex County case. Middlesex, well, it's a Worcester case. And he just, even when corrected by the judge, went back to Middlesex. And so Will was giving these guys a chance to take a little laugh at Cosgrove's expense.
Anybody else?
He did mention that you're close to, it seems, settling that civil case that you filed. Aidan, how does that impact what's going on here with the conflict and all that?
I don't think it impacts it at all because it's not almost settled with him, and he's the issue here.
What
the court seemed to
case
go
are they
into
talking
some
about
detail
right there?
about the timing of.
Say it again.
What case are they talking about right there? Where he says that they're close to settling the civil case? Is that what TB filed against Lindsay, or who? What case are they talking about?
I didn't catch it. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
I caught Bettero's face right there. Look at that look.
That's
They
scary.
all have the same look. Look at it.
He will Fucking
Like, what, motherfucker?
get
No.
you.
Is that because the Matrix doesn't know what everybody should look like at the same time? So it makes them all look the same?
Maybe.
Damn you,
Yeah, the
Matrix.
civil case is the one between Turtle Boy and Lindsay.
No, it was something. It's something else. I didn't hear what it was.
Certain events, and Cosgrove came to this late after all. The fact is, Cosgrove is the one being sued by a potential a witness, perhaps to be cross-examined or directly examined by him. What do you think about the court's distinction they were drawing there and the timing of all these things?
I don't know that the timing per se matters. Our issue is that for one reason or another, the prosecutor, the only prosecutor on the case, we believe has a personal interest in discrediting witnesses or a witness who has sued him and defending the credibility of witnesses whose credibility will be attacked by the civil plaintiff. Whether that happened now, before, his personal interest is to restore his integrity, his reputation. Anyone who is sued and accused of things has an interest in discrediting that. How do you do that when acting as a prosecutor? We just don't think that that is appropriate. There's an appearance of a conflict. And we do think it does matter that you cannot look at this in a vacuum. This case is filled with conflicts that long precede Mr. Cosgrove. The state police are involved in a conflict who should have recused themselves. The DA is not involved in this. The former special prosecutor, Ken Mello, was booted off the case for having conflicts with Ms. Gaetani. By the way, Mr. Cosgrove already had another conflict with Ms. Gaetani. I don't think you can look at this in a vacuum. The public confidence matters in a criminal proceeding, and it's flagging right now here.
And she's not a potential witness. According to Brian Tully's 911 call on Christmas Eve 2023, he called her a witness, not a potential witness, 4 times. So she was a witness until she wasn't.
And in his affidavit, he swore in his search warrant affidavit that she was a potential witness. Not even a potential witness, she was a witness. So, there's no question she's involved in the case. It creates a appearance of impropriety. It creates an appearance of a conflict. We think that's all we need. So, while we're here, guys, Judge Bellozo said something very interesting that I want every member of the media to think about, okay? He said that he thought this case should be resolved by a jury, as the conscience of the community, if you will, to decide whether this is a First Amendment issue or not. Now, we think that a journalist, I think there's a few journalists here, shouldn't have to go through paying lawyers, risking their future in front of a jury. We think in this Commonwealth that judges should be a bulwark against this stuff. Judges should decide as a preliminary matter, should a journalist, should anyone speaking out, especially against the government, have to go through this to get to a jury trial, to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, to spend all of this court time, years of court time, to decide if something is protected by the First Amendment. Judges in this state need to step up and stop these kinds of prosecutions.
That's what I was saying earlier.
Prosecution, and it's clearly viewpoint discrimination. They didn't like what Aidan was saying, so they went after him. Who else have they ever gone after in this regard? No one ever. So they're turning this statute on its head to go to suppress Aidan's viewpoint. That is wrong. We've always contended the judges in the state should take care of that. He should not have to risk the whims of a jury, the vagaries of the jury system to vindicate the First Amendment.
One thing the court did seem confident in is getting this to trial as quickly as possible. What do you take from that?
If we have to do it, we have to do it. I'm not afraid of a trial. The facts would come out, but we believe it shouldn't come to that because, like my attorney said here, time, money, still being on bail, these are things that no one should have to live with for doing acts of journalism.
Great answer, Aidan. Great. I was going to stop that right there.
Yes.
Great answer, Aidan. Great answer. And let me just say, we had a discussion like this today when we were covering this before we even saw this, because I said the Don Lemon case came up where he was just videoing the people who were protesting at a church, and he's arrested for that. Okay. If you, Michael O'Brien, you go out and you start putting, as you did, for instance, Justin Alien, as you call him, right? A microphone in front of somebody, is everyone going to say you're intimidating? You're a journalist. You're a journalist when you do that. You're a journalist, especially people don't like you when you go after the government. They hate that. Aidan Kearney has brought down the government. He's brought down the state police. He's brought down Proctor. He's gotten Karen Reed not guilty. They hate that. He is a target. And if he can become a target because of what he does, you can become a target. I can become a target. And anyone here who engages in journalism can become a target. And that's not right. This is a judge question, and the judge should have the cojones, the sneakers.
Oh, now
today,
I there you go.
Off now.
I said the balls last night, and you were chagrined.
I was
yeah, I
totally
mean,
listening,
I don't want.
By the way, I didn't lose an earring. It's right here, just that I have my earpiece on.
I don't want a jury telling me what I can and can't do under the First Amendment. That just seems twisted.
Right, yeah.
It just seems very bizarre. So I think one of the things what I think is unusual about this case that leads to all of these discussions is the backstory. You know, it's just so it can be so salacious. It is not, it's not Edward R. Murrow type stuff. And so people get a little more emotional about it. And
do people even know who that is anymore?
I guess. I mean, I'm not quite as old as, so he's dead now. But if you study journalism and you know who he is, you mentioned Walter Cronkite earlier. Edward R. Murrow was like, an old man to him. You should understand the freedom of the press issue and not get bogged down by all these emotional backstories. It's still a First Amendment case. It's still about freedom of the press, even though it's dressed up a little differently than we've seen in the past. Okay, let's wrap this up.
Judge wants to move the docket, though. Every judge wants to move things along. We're doing our best we can. We're not going to go to trial on this thing until every bit of discovery is in our possession. And there's still a ways to go. That's another battle we have to fight coming up. We're most interested, however, in the motion to dismiss. We want to get that going. So. Josie, anything?
No, actually.
All right. Anybody? Everybody taken care of? We don't want to leave anybody hanging.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All righty then.
Before you go.
Yeah. All righty then is exactly what I'm going to say.
Danny's tired of this day.
Yeah, I'm tired. And I got to work all day tomorrow and the next day.
I'm tired too. I did not sleep.
Yeah, I'm pretty beat myself.
Well, I'm glad because usually you motherfuckers are like, no, we gotta make this, and 5
I'm
hours
good tonight.
later,
It's Friday. Let's go.
yeah,
Oh, Danny, go to bed.
but I'll be asleep. I don't want to be like Mike Crawford, I don't want to be like James that fall asleep on the stream
Please don't.
with it
I was
running.
struggling during Cosgrove earlier, I'll admit.
Yeah, I was struggling during Cosgrove in person.
Lisa, what do you mean? Why do I have to work?
He had a rough day.
Tomorrow ends in Y.
Why? Because
These next couple of Saturdays I got to work, so there's nothing I can do about it.
I'm exhausted from peopling.
Yeah.
Lots of peopling today.
I am exhausted
from
fucking
freaking
controlling 4 other grown men.
cold and traveling.
I had to deal with Cossey.
I know, it's fucking stupid.
Pain in the ass.
Lisa, usually sometimes I get the weekends off, but if somebody tries to throw some money at me or my parents,
I'm not going to
this
turn it
weekend
down.
I had to have lunch with Turtle Dove and the Galera.
they didn't tell me
Maybe
that
that's
I was
the
good.
first time.
Couple of jerks.
Is that the first time you met Cossie in person?
Yeah.
Even though you
Yeah.
are from the same town? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no, we met before, but we didn't know each other because I used to.
Terry's just here for the cheese, y'all.
Anybody that y'all met today that y'all had not before that was like, whoa?
Yeah,
Nope.
Hetero.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both of y'all. Well, you met Better at the Wilbur, though, didn't you?
I didn't go to the Wilbur.
I didn't go to
Mary
the Wilbur.
B.
I didn't go to the Wilbur.
Oh, that was MJ and Janine. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
And Pinky.
All right,
And
so
Will.
we're about to read these things and close her down. We're all tired.
How long is Will staying in town?
I think tomorrow he's leaving.
Rolling, just keep on going.
He went out to
I'm
dinner with
going.
Hetero tonight. He's leaving tomorrow.
Okay, bye.
Speed talker. Speed talker. All right.
Bye, guys.
Love for true crime, new member. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you gotta do the super chats. Trying to rush me off here.
Oh, that is a Chat Rats Lounge. Damn, you tricked me.
That's cute.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was or it was. It is.
Chem of the crop, $10.
Let's
Let's
get
get this
this
party
party
started.
started. Happy Friday. Love that. Thanks, Genji. Hi, routed you out. Thank you, Lolene, for the gifted memberships.
Membership.
You doxed our Gingy.
I was gonna watch Babs Spaces tonight, but it sucks.
Diane G, I appreciate this. This is from PCU. This is from PCU.
Oh.
Tell Babs to shave her pits and call me.
Yes,
my
we gotta have our
goodness.
PCU reference. Wait, Danny, did you get any backlash on X today from the stream last night?
I hadn't been on X. I
No
don't get
one
on
sent
there.
you stuff or anything?
I don't give a shit if they did.
I know
I'll
you don't. I was just
see it in
curious
3 or 4
about.
days when I get back on there.
I was just
Unless they get
curious
on X.
about how much content you made on X from just watching a stream last night or Spaces, whatever.
Oh, I crashed that motherfucker. It was not a smooth one, that's for sure. Sup, Bo? Long live the Chat Rats, Bo. Buster Murdo, Bo. Hell
Is
yeah, we
Bo
went to
from
the.
Canada? Did I see that in the chat earlier?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what that little CA is. It's Canadian, $10.
I
Another
can't see on
country.
my phone. Leave me alone.
Well, that's what the CA means.
I know in money, but I can't see it from here.
Oh, well, it ain't our fault. You can't see it. Shit, get a bigger Samsung phone. Get one of those tablets. What's the Samsung
We
tablet?
have computers and stuff. I just don't want to sit in those rooms. I'd go crazy.
Crazy Brazilian, says JFK and crew. It's like an old car. Just make noises, but doesn't go anywhere.
They don't have questions no more.
Apparently can't leave the garage either.
Not when it's cold out.
I would ask you if you saw him today, but I already know you didn't.
No.
No.
I'm sure
No.
like
Jay
everywhere.
Brill's met Turtle outside the courthouse though in the morning.
Jay Brill was down there?
I mean, Turtle didn't seem like he was kidding. He
I
could have
didn't know
been,
that.
but he seemed
I've
serious
heard there were
about it.
no sightings of anyone.
He said he took a selfie with him. I swear to God.
I came in right before Turtle Boy, and I didn't see him.
Unless he's kidding, and he could just be doing.
I think he was kidding.
Like straight.
Where did he
We're
say
gonna
that
have
at?
to see this fucking selfie. That's for sure.
Usually, you know when Turtle's kidding, though. It didn't look like he was kidding.
No,
where
I
did
don't,
he
because
say
he
that
came
at?
on the show and tricked me about Brills the other night.
Where,
And I was
Cosby,
like,
where did
being serious?
And I think I was the only one
Turtle
talking
Boy
to
say
him.
that at?
All right, sidetrackers. Jesus Christ. Ellen sends $10.
No
Thank
fun
you, Ellen.
tonight.
I know, I couldn't get less fun. Siri Bo. That's awesome. Siri, send me $10.
We liked you better when you weren't vaping.
Yeah, I'm vaping now. Yeah. Gifted 5. Thank you,
Cosby
Siri
just left.
Bo. Yep.
Danny's kicking people off the panel.
I didn't do it. I wouldn't do
I'm
that.
next. Bye, Mary
Siri
B.
Bo again. Found out today I'll be a grandma again. Ooh, I'm gonna be a grandpa for the first time in like 2 weeks. I feel you.
Of a boy.
Yeah, that's usually what grandpa. Oh, I thought I said
No,
grandboy.
it's not what grandpa means, Danny. You've
See?
been a grandpa already, but you're about to have a
Yeah.
grandson.
About to have that grandson. Yeah,
You're
been
gonna throw that
screaming
ball
me
with.
home.
This will be awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have him.
In the spiral.
I have him doing it all. Too cute by half. Geriatric prosecutor and clown judge circus. Show tickets featuring real humans, Turtle Boy, and smart attorneys.
That's funny.
True.
Lisa can't stand you for $10. Says, how can anyone not have ADD and see butterflies and squirrels when Cosgrove is arguing? And that's it. Also, Babs is a hype. hypercritical
Hypocritical.
a hypocritical old bag that has nothing to do with herself but do spaces with her hog friends. Oh no, that's
Danny
awesome,
needs a break.
dude. That yes.
They're best friends, but same thing.
Oh, we were gonna watch them, but it's just so weird.
Yeah, fuck them.
We ruined their whole night last night.
I'm sorry, but the best part was Kazi singing Pearl Jam.
Oh god.
I think I overheard
$4. Thank you, Gem Fox. Sup, Bo. Let's fucking do this, chat rats. Nice. Sup, Bo's on it tonight, boy. Love it. Sherry Ann, I have been here a lot lately. Me too. I love all you chat rats. I seem like I've been here almost every minute. Crazy. It's almost confetti time, bitch. Diane, motherfucking G. And the sweet woman, not to be confused with sweet woman, who sometimes comes on panel.
I didn't even see Sweet
such
Woman
a
tonight.
Yeah.
Was she at court today?
No,
I didn't see her.
it's not her area.
I mean, it's still Massachusetts. That's an area to me.
How far is Sweet Woman from you, where you live, Mary B?
I mean, she's like about the same. You know, she's when I went to Dedham it was like an hour-ish, so I would say about that. Everywhere is like an hour away from me. I'm in Central Mass, like right in the middle. So like when I go out, it's like an hour away.
Cool. Sandy D. Calgon, take me away. That's exactly what I'm saying right now. Where did Kazi go? Did he get booted?
I said you booted him.
But I did not, though, so I don't want to end the show.
MJ
And
said something about Glare being live, and then I also read something about KP doing his spaces, which I don't want to hear, but
well, hold on. Let
I'll
me
just let you know in case there's a redirect to Glare.
redirect you guys somewhere. If he's not live, then you're going to get redirect roulette.
Yeah, last night I couldn't even see. You were the only person who could chat in the stream last night because you've been subscribed for more than 2 weeks.
Which one was that? Law and Lumber's on. I don't know what it's about though.
Law and Lumber, the expert, doesn't have his redirect on. Ah, look who turned on their fucking... The Elbow Room turned on their live redirect.
No way.
Yeah. I just dropped you in.
Was Jess Machado there today?
I know where we're going.
Oh, well.
The Glares must have one set up, but it won't let me see it yet. So I'm going to send you somewhere cool. Redirect roulette time is now.
Yay.
Say goodbye to your friends, ladies. Thanks for hanging out.
Good night, panel and chat.
People in the chat, thank you for hanging out. Seriously, we appreciate
Thanks
it.
for the support. We appreciate that.
Hopefully, I'll get home in time to do a pregame tomorrow before we head out with Teebs.
Jess Machado was sick today. Okay. I was wondering.
Well, we hope she gets better. Later, everybody.
Love y'all.
Anybody want to say anything?
You're not cutting me off.
I'm not going to cut off whoever's talking. I'm not going to cut them off.
Oh, okay. I have nothing to say. I don't really like.
The awkward silence is awesome. You hear it?
Tell us
The
story,
what?
Mary B.
What's awesome?
The awkward silence.
Oh.
If you just be quiet for 5 seconds. I'm just kidding. I was going to cut off the awkward silence, but instead.
Chat rats, y'all ready? Light it up. Light it up. It's that time. Let's roll.
Got the crew on the dial and we setting out east. Rat daddy at the wheel on the trail for the beast. Toy got receipts and a pocket full of names, and we busting out truce like we blowing out flames.
Eastbound and down, chat rats rolling heavy. Truth
Yellowstone, our tailgate, justice riding steady. Mic in our hand and the signs all red. Ain't no lies slipping past what the chat rat said. Playlist, angels taking charge, law leans on the mic and her notes hit hard. Mary B's lifted but she's sharper than attack. Dean's dropping questions while he's rolling in his Cadillac.
Breaker, rap mama here, got eyeballs on that shady scene. Y'all ready? Light it up, rats. 10-4-20.
Northbound and bold, truth in the backseat. Chat rats got that heat. Can't be beat from the chat rats lounge to the courthouse gate. We ride for the truth and we show up to see that fate.